true colors.
Nothing beats a winning team, pushing hard, reaching for the dream. Nothing beats clean, crisp and cold. Got the king of beers, you're on a roll. Nothing beats the Bud, Budweiser. Nothing beats the Bud, nothing beats the Bud.
If you think a muffler is something you just stick under your car, think again. The wrong one can really hurt your engine performance and fuel economy. We know. We've been engineering, building, and installing mufflers for 35 years. You get a muffler here, it's Midas quality. Installed by Midas-trained experts and guaranteed for as long as you own your car. All at a great price. At Midas, we do the job once, and we do it right. Nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
Under our third caution of the evening with the yellow on because of a crash involving Bobby Hill. And we'll give you the complete field rundown here as we watch from high above Bristol International Raceway. And you can see some of the 60 or so thousand fans that have gathered here for this event. They built more grandstands down in turn number 4 this year, and they sold every one of those and probably have a capacity standing room crowd here. They just can't build enough and sell enough seats for the people that want to watch the Winston Cup racing here on a Saturday night. As we complete the field rundown, cars that are already out of competition, several of them there, Michael Waltrip and Rusty Wallace crashed earlier. Now, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, Sunday night baseball here on ESPN. Couple of teams that are trying to get back in contention for their respective division leads. The Cincinnati Reds against the New York Mets. The Mets will be trying to get revenge for the game this afternoon that the Reds won, and so you will be able to see it at 8 o'clock tomorrow night Eastern Time live here on ESPN, the Reds and the Mets.
You talked about standing room only. Over in turn 2, where these cars are going through now, this is turn 1, they're entering turn 1. As they exit turn 2, those people sitting up on that bank, there's no seats there. They are sitting on the bank.
They brought their blankets.
Sorry, see those people?
Yep.
They're sitting on the grass. There's where the grandstand starts, right where the light is. All those people to the right are just sitting on the grass in the blankets.
It's a good view from up there, though.
Must be a couple thousand people there.
A lot of tires that have been cut down tonight. John Kernan has more on that.
Well, we'll go to the horse's mouth. Wayne Torrance, the field director for Goodyear. And Wayne, I've looked at one of the tires that looks like it has cuts on the side, but you say that's not the problem we're seeing here tonight.
No, this problem that you're looking at here is shoulder tearing, which occurs almost each time we come to Bristol. That doesn't really create a problem, even though it doesn't look too good. The problem we're having tonight is just numerous real small punctures. Obviously, it must be from the track coming up here in turn 1 and small rock getting up. Some of the leaks have been so slow we've had to take them down and put them in a tub of water to actually find them.
Well, there you hear it, small punctures now. We get just a quick shot here to show you what I was asking Wayne about. This looks bad, but it's not the problem. Let's go to the front pits and Dr. Jerry Punch.
John, you know, timing is everything in auto racing, and we just learned today that the sponsor here on the Jimmy Spencer car, Banquet Frozen Foods, will not be back next year with that team. However, the good news is they may make an announcement as early as the middle of next week about somebody else coming on board. So good news and bad news, and hey, good news for Jimmy Spencer right now here at Bristol, guys.
Indeed, he is the leader of the race as the cleanup crews continue to work, and we remain under caution with 179 laps to go. We'll take another break and be back with more from Bristol International Raceway.
On the next HBO Comedy Hour, Academy Award winner Whoopi Goldberg with all-new stand-up comedy that doesn't back down.
Yeah, I'm shooting your ass now, ain't I? Hit me, Betacam. Don't never leave home without it.
Plus, guests Rockapella, Chris Thomas,
Jesse make you feel like somebody, don't you? Jesse threw around my partner. Well, pack up and move like somebody.
and Jetta Jones. Whoopi Goldberg, Shea Whoopi, premieres Saturday, August 24th on HBO.
It's Sears Labor Day paint sale, and your chance to save $3 a gallon on 2 Weatherbeater exterior paints. Weatherbeater Premium Satin or Flat Finish. Sale ends Saturday, September 7th at Sears.
Winston Cup replays are brought to you by Autolite Spark Plugs, guaranteed for 2 years no matter how far you go. Bristol International Raceway, a night of thunder for Winston Cup drivers, including Ernie Irvan. As usual, close competition on the 36 degrees of banking. Dale Jarrett led 24 laps in the first half of the race, but pole sitter Dale Earnhardt led the most laps. He would finish 8th after tire problems. Ernie Irvan, who started 6th, was the hometown favorite and looking for his first Winston Cup victory. With 90 laps to go, Irvan took command. Could he hold on for the win? Yes, Ernie Irvan wins the Push 500. Irvan joined the list of drivers, which include Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace, who won their first race at Bristol. So Ernie Irvan won his first race here, so did Earnhardt and Wallace. And if things continue well, we could see another one, as Jimmy Spencer is the leader of the race right now, under caution here at Bristol. And Jimmy Spencer there in the Food City Banquet Frozen Foods cars at the head of the field.
There's Harry Gant.
The advantages of night racing, you can see the sparks as they look at
Wow, wow, what in the world?
Huh.
What, and they must have stuck something or other while the engine was running, stuck some kind of bar up there, but looks like they're going to, well, this time they're going to change tires.
Yeah, we're live now.
Yeah.
Going to try it again.
While we watched that pit stop, you're talking about Jimmy Spencer, if he could win, be the first time. The first 3 cars right now, Jimmy Spencer, Bud Strickland, and Sterling Marlin, neither of them have won a race. And until last week, Dale Jarrett, who's running 4th, had not won one. So, could very well come tonight.
Maybe we're seeing a changing of the guard, if you will, in Winston Cup competition with some of the young guys who have not won, making a name for themselves in this kind of racing. Well, they continue to work on the racetrack, trying to get some of the debris and the rubber build up on the track out of the way, so we'll take another break.
Joe Amato. When he goes out for a Sunday drive, he goes with Autolite. But Monday through Saturday, Joe goes one better. Autolite Platinum, the premium performance plug for your everyday driving. This Joe's not your average Sunday driver. And Autolite Platinum's not your average everyday plug.
One car manufacturer has more NASCAR victories than anyone. Winning over 350 NASCAR races. Over 4 decades of racing. That car manufacturer is Ford. And that kind of winning performance goes beyond the winner's circle.
You, yes, you might win a new Pontiac Grand Prix in the special days of Summer Sweepstakes. Plus, 4 special days in sweet tickets for the Winston Cup race in Charlotte, October 6th. Plus, airfare. And special days in will throw in accommodation. How about 10 cruises for 2? Want to know how to win one? Register where you see this sign. Want to enter your name in the special days of Summer Sweepstakes? Call 1-800-CMC-DAYS. By the way, what is your name? Don't just sit there. Enter now.
Wow, I feel good.
20 times last year, the world's best top fuelers fired it up in the final. And all 20 times, the outcome was exactly the same.
I feel good.
Every single NHRA winner was powered by the same spark plug.
So good. So good.
Autolite, we feel pretty good about that.
Wow, I feel good.
The cars drivers have just taken the green flag and are now in turn number 2. Jimmy Spencer has again jumped out in the lead. Here comes Hut Strickland, however. There are 9 cars, and Jeff Bodine spins in turn number 4. Is he going to collect anyone?
Not yet. Well, Hut Strickland is almost spinning and finally does down the front straightaway. Hut just couldn't get his car straight after trying to dodge Jeff Bodine, I guess.
I think he and Bodine got together over in a corner, and Hut got the car sideways and came all the way to the front straightaway before he finally lost control and spun. And there we see Jeff Bodine going in the pits to try to figure out what's going on.
Now here is the restart, and you'll notice that there is contact between Spencer on the outside and Bodine on the inside as they take the green.
Ooh, Spencer almost gets turned sideways as they take the green. Now here comes Hut Strickland. He's running second. Bodine laps down. And then they go down to turn 3. This is what happened in turn 3. Bodine and Strickland gets together. Strickland goes up, almost hits the wall up there. Bodine does go around. Meanwhile, Strickland, as you can see, he's starting to spin as he goes out the picture.
And you notice Sterling Marlin, who got caught up in the smoke, just stopped. And here is what happens when you hit the brakes. Well, you get nailed by somebody from behind, as Terry Labonte did on Dave Marcus there. And Jeff Bodine has taken the Budweiser Ford behind the wall.
He did make some contact with the right front of that car, but I thought the car was almost stopped. We see him trying to jerk the fender off, and Bodine already is taking his helmet off, has the window net down.
I wonder if a gear, he might have torn a gear out or a broken axle or something of that nature in that spin, Vinny.
No, he's taking the helmet off.
Although he drove it back there, so it wouldn't be a gear.
I thought he was taking the helmet off. I guess he was not. He's crawling out of the car.
Probably disconnecting the radio and is crawling out of the car. Here's a real-time replay of the crash from Dale Jarrett's perspective. This is
Dale
the
was in
cam.
4th place when the race started.
Boy, at that point, you just point it and hold on, don't you?
Thank goodness Hut Strickland did come back across the racetrack and was able to stop that car, because if he'd come back across the racetrack, he would have been directly in front of Dale Jarrett.
Well, many drivers are complaining about the condition of the racetrack. And there has been some breakup of the surface on the Speedway down in turns number 1 and 2 that has resulted in many cut tires here this evening.
What's happening is, as the racetrack tears up, it creates small stones, small pebbles, and when these cars go across those pebbles, they puncture a tire.
And now from Ernie Irvin's perspective in the Kodak car. John Kernan is with Jeff Bodine.
Jeff Bodine has crawled out of the Budweiser Ford. He sat back in one of the trucks back here in the back. Jeff, what happened out there?
Your destiny, John. This is a tough time to be talking to a guy like me that just got in a wreck with the circumstances we're working under. This is work to us, and all us guys, we're trying to work the best we can. And I hope the Lord's with me, because I don't want to say anything I shouldn't say. I just got bumped up in turn 2 and got a little sideways. I was a couple laps down, but I was trying to get that lap back, and going down in this corner, got bumped again, and I guess twice with a charm, maybe 3 or 4 times. I got bumped quite a bit, and I just got turned around and it slid up into the wall. It really hit the wall pretty hard with the right front, but we were running all that bad. We were running all that good. We tried to take a chance. We didn't pin on that first yellow. We stayed out. They got us up front, but it didn't work. Our tires wore out.
Thank you, Jeff. Jeff, of course, saying it was pretty tough to climb out of the car and answer the questions, but we're back to racing.
Good composure there by Jeff Bodine as the green comes out once again, and we're back to racing.
And Jimmy Spencer could not get his car started on the restart. Seems to be up to speed now as he is directly in front of Davey Allison.
But look how far Ricky Rudd jumped out in front of him. Rudd, of course, a couple of laps down.
Yeah, he is now 2 laps down. He was 3, but has gotten back 1 of them at the moment. Phillips 66 in-car camera looking at Dale Jarrett. And Dale Jarrett, meanwhile, is looking at the 98 car, the leader of the race.
course, between Dale Jarrett and the leader is Davey Allison, who is a lap down because of an unscheduled pit stop.
Here's Ernie Irvin, the Kodak Film Chevrolet, directly behind Dale Earnhardt going in turn 3. We saw Earnhardt spark out of the right rear. He went in the corner and bottomed out.
Well, he's still a lap down, folks, in case somebody just joining. He's currently being shown in 12th place, but he is 1 lap down because of an unscheduled pit stop.
We're going to see a good battle up front as Davey Allison closes in on Jimmy Spencer, and Jarrett really puts the heat on Allison. These two have found each other again, just as they did in the late stages at Michigan last week. Allison and Jarrett. And Earnhardt is right there also. Now, Davey is a lap down. Davey Allison is not in second position. He is a lap down, shown in 11th.
Well, I wondered why he was so aggressively going after Spencer. Now I understand. He is a lap down. Desperately needs to get in front of that number 98. The red Chevrolet, and Spencer goes a little bit high. And Davey tries to get under him.
And he does get under him as they go into 3, but Spencer holds him off for the moment, gets a little bit sideways, still holds him off. Wow.
Every inch here is so important. Every inch is critical around the racetrack. As Rusty Wallace has finally repaired that Miller Jimmy and Draft Pontiac, he goes back on the racetrack.
He cracked the wall hard in the early stages of the race, but repairs have been made, and Rusty Wallace goes back in competition.
You wonder why he would go back 100 laps down, or how many laps he is spinning the fifth? Winston Cup points, because he may go out and run the next 300 laps and beat 1 or 2 cars.
About 130 or so laps down, Davey.
Wallace, 8th in the point standing. As a matter of fact, is 134 laps down to the field.
Davey Allison had a little bit of trouble coming off the turn 2 over there, and not getting the traction he needs every time coming off there. Here's Earnhardt trying to go under Dale Jarrett. Earnhardt knows he's got to get by Jarrett, and then Allison, and then Spencer to get back in the lead lap.
Here's Morgan Shepherd moving through the field once again. Morgan is 2 laps down after an unscheduled pit stop. So actually, the cars you're seeing there, only 2 are on the lead lap, Jimmy Spencer and Dale Jarrett, first and second.
There are a total of 9 cars that are on the lead lap, and Shepherd moves around the car of Dale Earnhardt.
Dale gives a little nudge there as they go into 3.
I wonder how many times last Monday morning when someone that didn't know who won the race after the fan said, who won the race? And they said, Dale.
And they said, oh, Earnhardt won again.
No, Dale Jarrett.
Look at him bumping out there.
I think Dale Jarrett might be a tad faster than Davey Allison if he can get around him. And you see Jimmy Spencer getting away up there, and he'd sure like to get around, but Davey Allison now not much in position to get his lap back. This was slowly off the turn.
And there is your leader, Jimmy Spencer, who is looking for win number 1 in Winston Cup competition. We'll be back with more live coverage in just a moment of the Bud 500.
There's one battery that backs you with free Jumpstart service anywhere, for any reason. Die Hard.
Can't believe I left my lights on.
Sears Die Hard. More power when you need it most.
Who's going to back you better than Sears?
Where can you go on Goodyear Wrangler radials? So where can you go on Goodyear Wrangler radials? Just about anywhere you want. Put on a set of Goodyear Wrangler radials, and you'll know why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
It is from Kodak. It delivers the highest resolution, microfine grain, superior image structure for ultra-sharp detail. It is called Ektar. Sound like the world's most impressive color print film? It is Ektar film by Kodak. The genius is in the details.
painting. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Ask Ace for what you need. Ask Ace for what you need to know. Ask Ace for Ace Paint.
Top quality in every drop. Guaranteed.
7-star interior latex paint, $10.97 a gallon.
Quality counts, so count on Ace Paints.
Back at Bristol International Raceway in Tennessee for the Mud 500. It's about 9 o'clock Eastern Time. If you're just joining us, we're 211 laps into this race, and the leader is Jimmy Spencer. And Davey Allison, who is a lap down, has been falling back recently. He was running right up there with Jimmy Spencer, but is not now. So the battle on the racetrack becomes one for third position between Sterling Marlin, car number 22, and Hut Strickland in 12.
Right now, that's a race for 6 spots. 22 cars running 6. Hut Strickland is running 7. Currently, Jimmy Spencer the leader, Dale Jarrett is second, Ernie Irvin third, Bill Elliott fourth, and Alan Kowicki is fifth.
And we mentioned that Rusty Wallace was back out after a long stay in the garage area, and so is Michael Walter, who hit the wall a little bit earlier. He's back out in Pinball Pontiac.
Front-end damage there to the Maxwell House 4. There is the Jimmy Spencer car that is the leader of the race.
Davey Allison was up there trying to get his lap back a little while ago, but he has really dropped back in the pack now. We understand the right rear tire might be going down on his car.
Bringing the second place, Dale Jarrett. The 66 car, Blake Speed, is headed for pit road as we take a view from the Phillips 66 in-car camera. Lake brings that car to a halt, and they go to work. He's one of the cars pitted on the back stretch. Whether you pit on the front stretch or the back stretch is determined by your qualifying speed. And Michael Walter brings the Pennzoil car in also on the back stretch just ahead of Lake Speed.
And we see Speed's crew go around to the left side. So it's going to be a 4-tire stop on that Phillips 66 Pontiac.
That's an amazing statistic on this racetrack. 31 of 32 still running.
The only car so far out of the race would be the 42 car of Bobby Hiller.
Davey Allison is headed for pit road. We suspected that he might have a tire going down. He began to fall back a few laps ago, Jerry.
Exactly, Bob. They think it might be the right rear tire. Now, Larry McReynolds looking at the left front tire. They're very concerned about tire wear. Remember, he ran the car awfully hard trying to get his lap back. They have changed right side tires, and he is away.
Quick pit stop for Davey Allison.
Yeah, but that'll cost him. That's going to put him at least 2 more laps down than what he was. He was already 1 lap down.
There's Dave Marcus in car number 71 is doing very slowly, but not the leader, Jimmy Spencer, and we are nearing the halfway point. In just 30 more laps, we'll reach lap 250, the halfway point. And the driver leading at that mark will win $10,000, and you could win a Pontiac Grand Prix SE. Dial 1-900-737-1100 between now and the halfway point and register. If you are called back and you know who was leading at the halfway point, you will win that new car. Again, 1-900-737-1100 is the number to dial. Do it right now because we are approaching the halfway point. And this battle for 6th position continues to rage.
And Hut Strickland finally has taken that spot away from the 22 car, Sterling Marlin. 12 is blue and white car, Hut Strickland. The blue number 22 is Sterling Marlin. Davey Allison we see in front. Change that right side tire back on the racetrack and pass both of these cars.
There is Jimmy Spencer lapping Richard Petty, and also the 55 car of Ted Musgrave. Let's give you an indication of how much of a lead Jimmy Spencer has as he crosses the line. There is Jarrett. It's just a little more than 1 second.
But Bob, about 10 laps ago, it was almost 3 seconds. Jarrett has cut that lead down some. Now, whether it's because Spencer was in the traffic, I don't know. Jarrett's in the traffic now, so we'll see how it all shakes out after they get out of traffic. If they do, because there's cars all around this racetrack, so they don't stay out of traffic long.
Well, it's 1.4 seconds now as Dale lost a little bit. You know, we talked earlier about having consecutive first-time winners. When was the, or how many drivers have won 2 consecutive races after they won their first one? And yes, you're right, Ned was one of them. Billy Wade did it back in 1964, and Ned and Dick Linder won their first race and then repeated with another victory. And Dale Jarrett is looking to do that tonight. Stay remained pretty consistent, the interval between first and second.
Yeah, once Spencer got out from behind that traffic, held him up a little bit, which let Jarrett run in on him. He's certainly holding his own in the Food City Chevrolet.
This is the time of race where perhaps the drivers have adjusted to the conditions on the racetrack and to the traffic and beginning just to settle back a little bit. Meanwhile, out on the racetrack, the 15 of Morgan Shepherd and the 6 of Mark Martin are running together, each 2 laps down. They're battling for 15th spot.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's tough. These guys 2 laps down, knowing they've got to try their best to run 500 laps as quick as they can and get the best finish position they can. And it's so hard physically to get around this racetrack. As you enter the corner at 125, 30 miles per hour, it almost wants to sling you through the right doors. Your neck, your upper part of your body takes a tremendous strain to the Speedway.
We are live at Bristol International Raceway for Saturday night Winston Cup racing. The Butt 500 is 230 laps old. Here are the top 10. We'll be back in just a moment.
Calling out around the world. Are you ready for a brand new beat?
The Ford factory authorized clearance is going on now. Get financing as low as 2.9 on Escort. Save up to $2,600 on F-Series pickup. Save on Taurus, Aerostar, Thunderbird, Ranger.
They're dancing in the street. Yeah.
It's all at your Ford dealer now. The one and only Ford factory authorized clearance.
This Labor Day, find a Budman inside packages of Budweiser, Bud Light, and Bud Dry Draft.
Ah, you big lug. You could have had a brand spanking new raft. Shins up, men. Here comes a winner. Yowza.
Hey, you could win one of thousands of prizes, including sailboats.
Man, that one really hurt. Give me 3. Heads up, man. Somebody just snapped your 12 pack. What? Wait for me!
Man. Presenting a superbly engineered high-performance machine. One designed to outperform anything the competition has ever introduced. With exceptional starting power, smooth acceleration, and outstanding fuel efficiency. What do we call this masterpiece of engineering? Bosch Platinum. The ultimate spark plug with the advantages of pure platinum. You've never driven anything like it.
To locate a Bosch retailer or service outlet, call 1-800-882-8101.
Around the world, around the year. ESPN with over 1 million miles of award-winning race coverage. Speed World tonight in Bristol, Tennessee for the Bud 500. And what a race we have underway here. Nearing the halfway point, just 13 more laps to go before we reach halfway. The leader of the event is Jimmy Spencer there on the left side of your screen. Also there on the screen is Ricky Rudd and Ted Musgrave. Both of them are not on the lead lap as Ricky is now 2 laps down. Best battle on the racetrack could very well be between the number 9 and 12 cars of Bill Elliott, who was the pole sitter, and the 12 of Hut Strickland. This is for 5th.
Hut Strickland has been one of the fastest cars all afternoon, all evening, I should say. And Bill Elliott, as you said, he was the pole sitter in that Coors Light Ford.
Look at this, 106,400 available tonight only to Bill Elliott, the pole sitter, if he can win this race. Now, if he does not win the race, that amount moves up to 114,000 next Sunday afternoon at the Southern 500 at Darlington that we will have live for you here on ESPN at 1 o'clock. Mark Martin brings the Folgers Ford down pit road.
This would be an unscheduled pit stop, Bob, I believe.
He's 2 laps down. And the Jack Roush team jumps over the wall and begins to work on this car.
Hut Strickland and Darrell Waltrip. Is something happened to the 12 car in there?
I don't know, because Waltrip...
Yeah, something has happened to the 12 car. Because he was right behind Bill Elliott a moment ago. Now he's a straightaway behind Elliott. Darrell Waltrip went by him, and he's in jeopardy of losing more laps. So now Hut Strickland having problems.
Waltrip moves to 6th position. Strickland back to 7th. Marlin 8th. Now Marlin will take the spot.
Probably another car going down on Hut Strickland. 9 cars still in the lead lap.
You see fire coming out the exhaust. He has got a misfire in the engine. As he backs off the gas, we see fire coming out the exhaust.
Big disappointment for Hud Strickland. He was running so well in the Rebestos Buick.
Right in front of the left rear tire with it. There he goes in the corner. See that spark coming out the corner? That is a misfire. Jerry comes toward pit road. And Jerry Puncher's down there with the crew. Jerry?
Well, Jimmy Finning, the crew chief, just told me that it was a right front tire. And he had radioed in and said, we think we have a right front tire going down. So they bring the Rebestos Buick to a stop, and the crew will go to work. They will clean the windshield, fill it up with gas. Unfortunately, this all takes place under the green, and we'll lose a lot of valuable time. One of the front runners here early on, losing valuable laps. If they change right front tires, he is down on the way. Remember, only 30 miles an hour. That's as fast as he can leave pit road.
Well, we saw the fire coming out the exhaust, so maybe he has broken an exhaust. If you get some air in there occasionally, some cool air, that will cause the thing to backfire and look like a misfired engine.
Now, he went one lap down, so now there are just 8 cars in the lead lap.
And we've only got 3 more laps to the halfway point. Jimmy Spencer, the leader of the race, could pick up $10,000 here in 2 more laps now. There is Elliott and Darrell Waltrip running side by side. Darrell comes to the inside off the 4th corner. Trying to take 5th position away from Bill, and he does. Waltrip moves to 5th.
Rick Bass back in the 5th unscheduled pit stop, and here's the leader, Jimmy Spencer. He's moved back around Ricky Rudd.
Putting Rudd 3 laps down again, and he's a half a lap away from $10,000. Here comes Jimmy Spencer off corner number 4, and the Food City Banquet Planters car driven by Spencer picks up $10,000 for leading at the halfway point. Now, if you have registered for the Right Guard Halfway Challenge and you are called back in the next few minutes and they ask you who is leading at the halfway point, tell them Jimmy Spencer, and you'll win a car. Ooh. Wouldn't that be nice?
Jerry Punch reported that Banquet Frozen Food would not be back with Spencer next year. I don't think Food City is I think that's just a local grocery store chain, isn't it, Ned?
That is correct. And a lot of times Banquet will put the sign of a grocery store chain on the side of the car when you go into a particular market area.
They have brought a lot of people to this racetrack. Sitting down in front of us in the broadcast booth, a whole bunch of people with hats on and with the color of Food City and the numerals on that car that show up very well. Jimmy Spencer is working traffic very, very well tonight.
He is. He's showing patience when he has to. He's being aggressive when he has to.
Dale Jarrett's in the wall in turn 4.
And there's a tire bouncing across the racetrack.
Dale Jarrett, again, we see the fuel burning in the exhaust pipes. The tire comes across the racetrack to the left as the field comes down and takes the checkered flag. And look at him fan out 6-7 wide there at the line.
Takes the caution flag as they come down. Well, Jarrett had a good run going tonight.
Yes, he did. He was in second position and had hoped to make it 2 in a row, but it didn't work out that way. Dale is okay. He's taken the gloves off, but obviously very disappointed.
You know he is. He was running second. And then I don't know where that tire came from. I wonder if that came off Jarrett's car.
Must have.
He's making some good time.
All the way down to turn 1. The ambulance arrives on the scene, but I don't think they're going to need it because Dale is taking off the helmet, taking out the earplugs, and will be climbing out of that Citgo Ford in a moment. Meanwhile, the leader, Spencer, is in. Right side rubber going on the car. And it'll be a 4-tire change, and Darrell Waltrip is also in down here at the end of pit road. Bill Elliott brings the Coors Light Ford in.
I saw some smoke in the back of Bill Elliott's car. I wonder what that was. Looked like a tire was rubbing or that coming out the exhaust. I don't know. There is Dale Jarrett. He's not going to make it 3 in a row, Ned.
No, sure isn't. Well, he's had a good week. He, of course, would like to have kept that roll going. Winning at Michigan last week, winning here last night in the Busch Grand National Series, but you're right, won't be 3 in a row.
Hadn't been a bad month for the Jarretts. About, what, 3 or 4 weeks ago, Ned was inducted in International Motorsports Hall of Fame down in Talladega, and then he gets to see his son win his first Winston Cup.
Let's take a look at the replay. This is real time.
Now I'm going to get to see him hit the wall. Looks like the right front tire might have gone down. It out there against the wall.
Making sure the car doesn't get down into anybody's way. Jerry Punch is with him.
Well, while he has climbed out of the car, jumped the pit wall, talked to Eddie Wood and Dale, what a difference a week makes. A tough fortune here. The car running awfully well. What happened out there?
I don't know if the tire went flat or blew out or something going into turn 3 there. Didn't give any warning. The car was driving good. I was just kind of biding my time and taking it easy. And just blew out going in there. Did the wall a ton. It's a shame this Citgo Ford was running good. And, had a shot to make it 2 in a row, but it's the brakes.
Dale Jarrett from the victory lane. He will exit here early at Bristol with a heavily damaged Citgo Ford. Gentlemen.
Glad to see that he's okay there as the crew is at the scene of the car. The pace car leading the field around with 256 laps completed out of 500. We're under caution for the 5th time tonight at Bristol International Raceway. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
In trying to make an artistic statement, one should be careful not to let one's personal aroma do the talking. In order not to offend the critics, I recommend Right Guard Sport Stick. It provides maximum protection and the freshest scents, a sublime palette of odoriferous emanations. After all, a true artiste should be remembered for his inspiration, not his perspiration. Right Guard Sport Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Good morning, campers. Looking for all the gear you need to live comfortably in the great outdoors? Then load up with supplies at Ricky's Army and Navy store in Delran. Ricky's has your sleeping bags, tents, cooking gear and utensils, flashlights and lanterns, backpacks, stoves, and insect repellent. So if you want all the gear for the great outdoors and a little bit more, come to Ricky's Army and Navy store, Route 130 South in Delran.
There are a lot of healthcare companies in New Jersey. For most, healthcare is a small part of their business. Stocks and bonds are bigger. Real estate is bigger. In fact, accident insurance is even bigger. But since 1932, Blue Cross and Blue Shield has only been in the business of health and caring for you. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of New Jersey. The blue comes.
If it happens in baseball, you'll see it on ESPN.
There he goes. He leaves. He makes the catch.
See Tuesday night doubleheaders, Wednesday night excitement, Friday night twin bills, and exclusive Sunday night action. Time is running out for Barry Larkin and the Reds to make up ground in the NL West. Howard Johnson and the Mets face the same uphill climb in the NL East. It's Desperation Time, live at 8 Eastern on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball.
Dale Jarrett's car remains on the racetrack. Dale is okay. The right front is missing. It bounded off the car and ended up down in turn number 1. Now watch from the roof cam. Watch very carefully on the right front of the car, and we think we see the tire rolling off of the car. Maybe a wheel broke. There it goes right there. Now watch the sparks indicating that it's making contact with the racetrack, and then boom, hard contact with the wall.
Yeah, I believe the wheel might have broken down as he came. Maybe the lug pattern broke out the center of the wheel or something of that nature, because we saw the wheel rolling down the racetrack, and there's no wheel on the Citgo Ford now. So,
well, of course, we saw earlier in the track fact how the crews put glue on the nuts, allowing them to get the tire on the car quickly and get it off quickly. Let's go to John Kernan, who has an update on this situation with this car.
Well, Ernie Irvin's crew, as you can see, got a load of tires from Dale Jarrett. Since Dale is out of the race, they've done the neighborly thing, and they have loaned another Virginia team a set of tires. Now, one other point I wanted to make about Ernie Irvin, he and Ken Schrader are 2 of the 7 cars on the lead lap, but they're the only 2 who are pitting on the backstretch. Ernie was running second when the caution came out because he had to pit here on the backstretch. He is now running 6th, and he'll have to make his way through traffic to get to the front.
Good point. That's the disadvantage of pitting on the backstretch. There is the Jarrett car on the hook, and it's over for Dale Jarrett. Our Western Auto race recap shows that Jimmy Spencer is the leader. He's led 137 of the 250 laps, 4 cautions for 34 laps. We've had 7 lead changes among 6 drivers and the 12,000th lead change in Winston Cup modern day history. Average speed 84.6 miles an hour. Those that have led: Spencer, Darrell Waltrip, Terry Labonte, Michael Waltrip, Rusty Wallace, and Davey Allison. cars out of the race. Only 2 at the moment, Jeff Bodine and Dale Jarrett. Now, the Western Auto Mechanic of the Year standings. Larry McReynolds from Davey Allison's crew is on top, 8 points over Tony Glover from Ernie Irvin's crew. Robin Pemberton on Mark Martin's crew is 3rd, then Danny Glad and Kirk Shelmerdine from Dale Earnhardt. Top 5 in the Western Auto Mechanic of the Year standings. They continue to clean the track up in turn number 4, where Dale Jarrett had contact with it. So we'll take another break with 261 laps gone.
Ever wonder what I do when I'm not racing? I'm at Western Auto kind of checking things out, and you should too. Hey, guys.
Hi, Daryl.
Because now you can enter our exciting We Win, You Win $1 Million Racing Sweepstakes. There's monthly drawings for Chevy Luminas, race trips, plus, if I win the championship, one of you will win $1 million.
While you're at Western Auto, pick up a Delco Freedom 60 battery for just $44.99. Delco Freedom 60 batteries, it's like buying time.
You think he's got a chance?
One manufacturer has more NASCAR victories than anyone. More NHRA Pro Stock victories than anyone. More consecutive IMSA GTO victories at Daytona than anyone. And more off-road victories in the last 5 years than anyone. That manufacturer is Ford. No wonder nobody enjoys the weekend like Ford.
All of these championship-winning drivers have one thing in common: Goodyear Racing Eagles. The race-winning technology that's found in the Goodyear Racing Eagles can also be found in the world's best-selling line of high-performance street tires, Goodyear Eagle Street Radials. The champions know, and it's why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
We'll look at the top 5 here quickly because we are about ready to go to green. Spencer Kulwicki, Darrell Waltrip, Sterling Marlin, and Bill Elliott. Here they come off of corner number 4. Getting set as we watch from our helicopter hovering over the track. There they are coming out of the 4th turn. The speeds accelerate and the green comes back out on lap 265. Spencer drives away. Alan Kulwicki is second with the 5th car. They're in line now. And here comes Hut Strickland passing him on the inside.
Oh, Hut's almost out of shape. He is out of shape.
And several cars involved. Ernie Irvin hit him pretty hard. But Hut is really the only one that suffered major damage.
Earnhardt's trying to get a lap back as they come back to the flag. Will it pass Spencer? No.
It's close, but he did not do it. Hut Strickland crashes here on the main straightaway and brings out another caution. John Kernan.
Well, the Kodak crew is pushing the car back behind the wall. You can see a lot of front end damage from where he made contact. They have busted the radiator, broken the radiator, so they're going to have to pull it behind the wall and change the radiator and get Ernie back out in a few laps. But I shouldn't say a few laps. It's going to be a lot of laps before they can get this car fixed and back out on the racetrack.
Ernie hit Hut pretty good just at the end of the crash. Let's look at it again.
We see Hut on the inside. He tries to go on the inside of Mark Martin. Martin doesn't know he's there. Hut goes down, hits the apron, and gets the car out of shape. Almost saves it, but I thought Sterling hit him, but he didn't. He hits the wall, and here comes Ernie, and they meet head on.
Boy, Waltrip was also lucky there. He and Sterling, that they got by. From another angle, from our turn 1 camera.
That really bunches them up, and they slow down back there. There's Sterling Marlin barely gets by on the inside, and watch Waltrip as he goes down to the inside.
He hits Elliott or rubs with him a little bit. And there's the contact between Ernie Irvin and Strickland.
And Ken Schrader also making a good move, getting by down on the inside.
And Harry Gant just barely got by without making contact.
Heavy front end damage on the Rebustus Buick that performed so well here tonight, as Doyle Ford has the yellow flag out for the 6th time tonight, and Tony Glover and the crew are busy at work back there on Ernie Irvin's car. Here it is real time from Ernie's in-car camera.
man. You know, that's the thing you got to do when there's trouble in front of you. You got to keep your car going straight. You don't have a prayer of missing something if the car's sideways. Ernie Irvin did what he could. He kept the car straight. Unfortunately, all of a sudden there the car is directly in front of him.
Listen to the work going on down there.
That's an air chisel you see in here.
Why you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in the wind tunnel to get those things perfect aerodynamically.
that's probably a $4,000 wreck at your local body shop.
Jerry Punch is with Hut Strickland.
Hut's still sitting in the car. First of all, Hut, you took a hard lick. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay, Jerry. It's just, you know, an unfortunate thing that's had to happen. You know, 2 or 3 cars got together, and you know, the racetrack's so slick out there. It's just one groove, and you know, you just. When you get out of that groove, it's just nothing you can do.
You can hear the dejection in his voice. He still sits in the car. He will not give up. He would like to be able to get the car fixed. But as you look at the front of the car, the entire front section, the bumper, the grill, and most of the fenders have been pushed away. You see the radiator pushed back in against the engine compartment. I doubt this car is repairable to get back on the track tonight. Tough break for Hut Strickland, guys.
Ernie Irvin and his in-car camera didn't make it through the crash, but now we go inside Lake Speeds. Phillips 66 with the in-car camera and see that he did.
Well, he almost did. Bill Elliott slowed him down just enough. He was able to get by.
Yeah, he nailed Bill pretty good, but no serious damage to that car. But look at the damage on Hut Strickland's machine.
Certainly no damage like that.
They got a welding
cutting torch trying to cut all that sheet metal, all that metal away so they can put some new stuff on there.
It's a typical Winston Cup race at Bristol International Raceway. Lots of crashing and banging and a lot of good racing too, and we'll be back for more in a moment.
Hey, I like to save money as much as the next guy. But what are the odds that there's going to be a sale on the parts you need when your car breaks down? Hey, it's not going to happen. That's why I go to AutoZone. I mean, sure, you can wait around for a couple weeks and maybe beat their price by a few pennies someplace else. But I don't want to wait for a sale when I need a part. Now, what more could you ask for?
I see your true colors shining through.
Life is full of firsts.
Your true colors shining through.
Some big, some small, each one special.
So don't be afraid to let them show.
If you were his parents, would you trust this moment to anything other than Kodak Gold film? No other film in the world gives you truer color than Kodak Gold.
True colors.
In trying to make an artistic statement, one should be careful not to let one's personal aroma do the talking. In order not to offend the critics, I recommend Right Guard Sport Stick. It provides maximum protection and the freshest scents, a sublime palette of odoriferous emanations. After all, a true artiste should be remembered for his inspiration, not his perspiration. Right Guard Sport Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Back at Bristol International Raceway, well, we'll do lunch with Benny a little bit later as the fans are anxious for us to play Buffet Benny this week, which we'll do in a moment. Meanwhile, there is a lot of activity down around the Ford car of Ernie Irvin. It was involved in that crash with Hut Strickland. The crowd rises to its feet as we are set to go back to green on lap number 273.
But watch Dale Earnhardt here trying to get his lap back. This is the best opportunity he's had tonight. He's on the inside. He's out front. It's going to turn 1.
And that puts 7 cars now on the lead lap. Earnhardt makes the 7th car on the lead lap. There goes Brett Bodine and Mark Martin by our leaders.
Alan Kowicki went awfully high. He was in 2nd place. Now he's in about 4th place just on the 1st lap. He went very high in turn 3.
Mark Martin is now 2 laps down. He was 3, now 2. Spencer will try to put him 3 laps down again.
Well,
We'll show you the field summary as we watch the action. Kowicki did back up on the restart. Seven cars on the lead lap as you watch the rest of the standings.
All right, in the middle of the screen, 98. That's your leader, Jimmy Spencer. All these other cars laps down, trying to get their lap back as Mark Martin is trying to get by Earnhardt, and Spencer drives up on the outside. Oh, contact between Spencer,
and he's in the wall.
No, he holds it. He holds it. He does a great job and saves that car.
I think he bumped the wall, but he saved it. Maintains the lead.
Yep, held on to the lead.
Now Sterling Marlin is second. Here it is again.
Well, he was up on the outside, and Mark Martin just started to come out of the turn up there, and he does.
Yes, he did.
Well, boy, he really got that car crossface. He and Harry Gann are the only ones to get one that far around and still save it.
The wall could have played a part in saving it.
If it hadn't been the wall, he was spun out. The wall hadn't been there, but we see him smoke. As he went in that third corner, I saw some smoke in the front of that car.
Now the 22 car of Sterling Marlin begins to close in on Jimmy Spencer.
And I saw some smoke that time from contact between the 26 and the 98 car.
Yeah, that's what happened that time that caused the smoke. The tires rubbing against sheet metal.
Darrell Waltrip, 17, is in third position.
Al Kowicki has dropped back to fourth. Bill Elliott is fifth. And in sixth place is Kenny Schrader. Those are the only 6 cars that are on the lead lap at this point, except Dale Earnhardt now is back in the lead lap.
Let's go to Jerry Punch.
Let me show you what kind of force these cars are subjected to in the turn. This is the right front tire and wheel that came off the Cisco Ford of Dale Jarrett. Come on in, guys. The entire center section has been sheared away. The wheel, less than 4 months old, completely destroyed when Jarrett went into turn 4 and the car went head-on into the wall with a violent impact. These guys are under a lot of strain here at Bristol. Bob?
So your speculation was right, Ned. It was a broken wheel there on Dale's car that sent him into the wall.
Yeah, it's too bad, but those things do happen. As Jerry says, there's a tremendous amount of pressure on the tires and the wheels here at Bristol.
Now there goes Harry Gant to the inside, passing Darrell Waltrip. Gant is 2 laps down in 9th position at the moment, and Darrell Waltrip is in 3rd.
Darrell Waltrip is still just sort of biding his time. He didn't win more races here at Bristol than anybody else by getting up there and cramming and bamming in the first 2/3 of the race.
That's exactly right. He has won here at Bristol 11 times.
It's not quite time for Darrell. You're right, Dad. He'll make his charge a little bit later.
The 25 and 9 cars are battling for position. That's Elliott and Ken Schrader, 66 car, not on the same lap.
25 car also is another car that's been in the pits several times and some laps down, but he gets on the inside of Bill Elliott.
Bill slipped one.
Ken Schrader is one of the drivers on the lead lap, so he goes on the scoreboard, I think, for the first time tonight. And put him up in 5th place if he moves around Elliott. Side by side, I think you'll get him coming off turn 4, and he does indeed.
With that inside line, Schrader does pick up the spot, and Lake Speed is also following right through. Here comes Terry Labonte now to the inside of Bill Elliott. Labonte 4 laps down in 16th position. He was one of our early leaders. Elliott still way up high on the track.
Tell you what, you get up high and the car is very, very loose up there. We saw Bill go in the corner, get high, and just the car went rear end, almost kicked out from under it. And I apologize to you Schrader fans for saying he was laps down when he, in fact, is in the lead lap. And here's Earnhardt.
Earnhardt and the leader, Jimmy Spencer, in just a whole bunch of traffic, trying to follow Ricky Rudd by Joe Ruttman up on the high side. Despite getting knocked around a few laps ago, Jimmy Spencer continues to lead this race. There's second place Sterling Marlin running with a couple of lap cars, Brett Bodine and Joe Ruttman. Jerry Punch once again.
Gentlemen, most race drivers are pretty superstitious, and when you consider the drivers who got their first ever Winston Cup win here at Bristol, the names are like Dale Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, and Ernie Irvin. So if Jimmy Spencer can hang on, it may bode pretty well for his career in Winston Cup driving, guys.
It certainly could. Of course, this is the time where drivers are thinking about next year, trying to re-sign and get fitted up with the team that they want to be with. And performance and a win here tonight by Jimmy Spencer would up his stock a little bit. Earnhardt and Rudd are running together on the racetrack, but they are not on the same lap, as Dale is now on the lead lap, and Ricky Rudd is 2 laps down.
Being shown in the 12th position.
Spencer all was trying to get by Rudd, and Earnhardt goes high, and Rudd and the leader also gets by.
Well, yeah, I think he has. Got another flat tire. That's what put him a lap down earlier. And now the Goodwrench Chevrolet will come into the pits.
I tell you, this guy has had some really bad luck the last 3 races that has allowed Rudd to close within 69 Winston Cup points. And although Rudd hasn't been particularly strong here tonight, Earnhardt has another misfortune with a flat tire. Here he is.
We saw the NASCAR official turn to back the car up. He was over the line, and he about backed the car off the jack, or he did roll it off the jack. They had to put the car back under.
It's a good thing somebody's arms weren't under
And look where that burning, where the grease is coming out of the right front. The brakes are so hot that they caught the grease on fire in the right front, and that's what was flaming there.
Good eyes, Benny. You're getting old, but your eyes are still good, I'm telling you.
Especially those plastic things you put over.
You can see that in April, Earnhardt didn't have a very good run here, finished in 20th spot.
But now he's 2 laps down, I believe, according to my calculations. Maybe 3.
And back in 11th right now. Bristol International Raceway is the scene of our live coverage tonight of Winston Cup racing. Back in a moment.
The Ford factory authorized clearance is going on now. Get financing as low as 2.9 on Escort. Save up to $2,600 on F-Series pickup. Save on Taurus, Aerostar, Thunderbird, Ranger.
They're dancing in the street. Yeah.
It's all at your Ford dealer now. The one and only Ford factory authorized clearance.
All of these championship-winning drivers have one thing in common: Goodyear Racing Eagles. The race-winning technology that's found in the Goodyear Racing Eagles can also be found in the world's best-selling line of high-performance street tires, Goodyear Eagle Street Radials. The champions know, and it's why we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
Kelly LeBrock reveals the essence of man.
Hard to define, easy to know. It's in the way he holds a drink, the way he wears his clothes, the way he talks, the way he walks, the way he smiles, looks, and kisses. And when he holds you close, it's in the way he smells. Brute, the essence of man. Come on, put it on.
Just a little less than 200 laps to go in the Bud 500 Winston Cup race from Bristol. It's Spencer, Marlin, Kulwicki, Darrell Waltrip, and Kent Schrader, the top 5. Our Speed World coverage is being brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Goodyear, the unanimous choice of every NASCAR Winston Cup team. Berwick, Pennsylvania, is continuing to lead this race. He has led 190 of the 300 laps. Let's go to Jerry Punch, who has a story on Rusty Wallace.
Well, it's not good news, guys, for the man who won back in April. Currently 8th in the Winston Cup points. Remember, they had that head-on crash in turn 4 where he fixed the car, went back out, but the water came out of the engine while it was sitting in the garage being worked on. And when it went back out, they apparently overheated and cooked the motor. So they are through for the evening. A tough break and a costly race for Rusty Wallace.
So just when you thought you'd go out there and earn some Winston Cup points, you cost yourself a lot of money with a cooked engine, huh?
Exactly, about $25,000 per copy on those engines. And there's our pole sitter, Bill Elliott, going lap lap down to Spencer.
So now there are 5 cars in the lead lap.
Ken Schrader is the last car on the lead lap as Jimmy Spencer just continues to dominate this thing. There is the leader. We're going to do our pan backs now and show you some of the other cars that are still out there in competition. How about this? King Richard Petty. He is 15th, 5 laps down to the field. Right behind him is Ricky Rudd, and now he passes the King. Rudd is in 11th position at the moment. Second in Winston Cup points. A little bit of racetrack, and then other cars. 22, that's Sterling Marlin. He is in second position in the Maxwell House Ford. And a good run for Sterling all evening long. Right behind him is Harry Gant. In the Skoll car, he is a lap down, 2 laps down, make that in 7th spot.
And then Morgan Shepherd is 2 laps down. There's the red 15, Morgan Shepherd, the Motor Cup Ford. Couple laps down. There's old Rick Mast, the Skoll Classic Oldsmobile. He's in 21st spot. He is 10 laps down to the leader. Hooters Ford, Alan Kowicki, the next car. And Alan is the, 3rd place car. And this is a race for 3rd place with Darrell Waltrip of Western Auto Chevrolet.
So we'll stay with this just for a minute to see how this shakes out before we resume our field rundown.
Oh, Bill Elliott.
Oh, he's in the wall
hard down in turn 1.
Bill Elliott, the pole sitter, finds himself at the bottom of the racetrack in turn number 2, and the yellow comes out for the 7th time tonight.
And we see Elliott fire the thing up and try to get the car to roll. The left front tire will not roll. See, the car's moving, but the tire's not rolling.
But he might be able to get it back to the pits. Of course, that tire is going to wear out and blow out here in a little bit.
We can see the tire smoking as it drags along on the pavement. And just any time now, it's going to go boom.
The Unocal bonus money goes to $114,000 at the Southern 500 at Darlington next Sunday.
Now the tire started to roll, but then it stops again. The car just will not roll anymore.
Elliott brings it to a halt, puts the window netting down, and realizes that his chances of winning are over. Hit the wall pretty good. Here it is from our shot outside of turn number 2. You see, made first contact with the rear end.
It looked like the right rear tire might have let go or something. Anyway, the back end just went out from under it all of a sudden and sent him around.
Tow truck has arrived at the back of the car to push him to the pits. There's Alan Kowicki, who has come in. The Hooters Ford service completed, and out goes Alan.
Also, Sterling Marlin and Darrell Waltrip have been in the pits, and here is Kenny Schrader on the backstretch, changing 4 tires.
And now here comes Jimmy Spencer in for a stop. The leader is in. Jerry Punch can see the action down there at Jimmy's pit.
Well, indeed, they look like they will change all 4 tires, guys. A minute ago, we said that Sterling Marlin and Alan Kowicki, the 2nd and 3rd place cars, had come in and made a 4-tire stop. Now, Jimmy Spencer's car getting left side tires. Now, they have already changed the right side tires on the Food City Chevrolet. Bobby Labonte subbing for Rick Wilson is pitting just in front of Spencer, and Spencer's car off the jack, and he will pull away headed down the road. They're reminding the drivers 30 miles per hour, and Spencer now slows abruptly as he heads back to turn 1, while Davey Allison and other cars, Rick Mast, etc., get their 4-tire change here in the pits under caution.
Now, you can see those yellow wheels on Darrell Waltrip's car. That's probably from his brother's car.
Yep. I would think so. There had to be some miscommunication between Travis Carter and Jimmy Spencer for him to stay out that extra lap, and he'll have to start behind all those cars that's pitted the lap before him.
Look at Ernie Irvin's car. The doghouse on the front of that machine is gone. Now
and the jack fell.
Yep. A lot of congestion on the backstretch pits. Richard Petty is in, so is Dick Trickle. Now Richard pulls out as Ernie stays in. There is Ted Musgrave pulling out.
Well, he's missing a lot of sheet metal on the car, but he has all the vital parts on it, it looks like, as far as running is concerned. One might wonder, will NASCAR let a car run like that? Yeah, they will let a car run like that as long as there's no dangling pieces. It might fall off. Let's go to the pits and Jerry Punch.
Bill Elliott has climbed out of his damaged Coors Light Ford, and he's looking over in the engine compartment. And Bill, first of all, you took a heck of a lick. Are you okay?
Yeah, fine.
What happened out there?
Blew a right rear tire.
The car you'd made a lap up running pretty well.
Well, we weren't running that bad, and It got off there a little bit, and we decided we'd stop and change some tires, and then it blew the right rear out.
Well, Bill Elliott here with the crew. They will try to get the car repaired. A very heavily damaged Coors Light Ford sitting here behind pit wall.
Good call, Ned. You speculated as we saw the replay that the rear tire blew, and that's exactly what happened. It sent Bill into the wall, bringing out our 7th caution of the evening. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
There's only one place to catch the best in family programs, on the Disney Channel. Now you can bring the Disney magic to your home. Order the Disney Channel, and with a $10 donation to MDA, you'll receive 1 month of the Disney Channel free. But that's not all. By ordering the Disney Channel, you'll also receive 2 free tickets to the Clyde Beatty Cole Brothers Circus at the Burlington Center, August 29th and 30th. Don't miss out on the best in family programs. Call Store Cable at 871-6900 and order the Disney Channel.
I don't know how these young families do it these days. Prices are going up and up. So now at Wendy's, you can put together a whole meal from our 99-cent super value menu. Like a junior bacon cheeseburger with biggie fries, biggie drink, or a baked potato with a fresh salad, and a diet drink or a Frosty, or any other combination of 99-cent super value menu items. So when you walk out, you have change in your pocket.
Hey, Dad!
Coming, Wendy.
Make your own meal from Wendy's 99-cent super value menu.
Reigning world champion Ayrton Senna is still in the driver's seat, but Nigel Mansell is within striking distance of taking over the lead. They meet again at the Grand Prix of Belgium, Sunday morning, live on ESPN.
A look at what's coming up later tonight here on ESPN after our Bud 500 baseball tonight at 11 o'clock, Sports Center at 11:30, and Speed Week on at midnight tonight. And we've got a lot of things to bring you up to date on in Speed Week tonight. Details of that horrifying crash involving Jeff Brabham at Road America earlier this week. Michael Andretti has made his decision as to what he's going to do next year, and we'll have all kinds of news and highlights in the world of motorsports on Speed Week at midnight Eastern Time tonight. They were going to go green, and they decided not to because Chad Little stopped momentarily down in 1 and 2, but he's going again.
Yeah, he's going again now. He was stopped, but when decision time came, they had to throw the caution again because he was stopped down there, and then just almost momentarily started rolling again. There was a little piece of debris out on the front straightaway. One of the NASCAR officials had come out and picked it up now, but Chad, that battered bullseye barbecue sauce Tyson Ford, is rolling again.
Battered is right, but it doesn't look any worse than most other cars running out there at the moment.
Yeah, you're exactly right. If we looked real close at the leader's car, it probably would look, well, not that bad probably, but similar.
And the leader is Sterling Marlin.
Exactly, and Darrell Waltrip is second, Alan Kowicki third, Kenny Schrader is fourth, and Jimmy Spencer is fifth. Those are the only cars on the lead lap. A lap down in sixth is Harry Gant. Seventh is Mark Martin. Eighth is Morgan Shepherd. Ninth, Davey Allison. Those cars 2 laps down. There is no car just 1 lap down. And then 3 laps down in 10th position is Ricky Rudd.
And 11th is Dale Earnhardt. And 12th is the 8 car being driven by Bobby Labonte. 13th is Brett Bodine. He's 4 laps down. And 14th is Chad Little that we saw there just a moment ago. He also is 4 laps down. And Richard Petty, 15th place, 5 laps behind.
And the lights on top of the pace car are out. We should be going back to race conditions here in just a moment. 322 laps have been completed. The crowd is still just as enthusiastic as it was at 7:30 when we began. Green is out. And somebody gets a black flag immediately. I don't know who it was, but somebody got a black flag. Ricky Rudd and Dale Earnhardt both get out in front of the leader and get one of their laps back, one of their 3 laps back.
Darrell Waltrip has taken the lead.
The 66 car, we understand, is the
and
one
there's
that got
trouble. The 8 car, Bobby Labonte, has spun coming off of turn 4.
No caution yet. No caution.
Yeah, he's going again.
It was at the back of the field. Nobody else involved. The car is rolling, and the green stays out. Bobby Labonte in substitution for an ill Rick Wilson.
And Dale Earnhardt and Ricky Rudd was hoping there would be a caution since they're in front of the leader.
Here's a replay of the Labonte spin.
Back in just goes around on him. Brett Bodine just by on the outside, so do several other cars.
While all that was happening, we had a change of leader as Darrell Waltrip had the team command. You Remember, I told you that he told us that before the race he was going to cruise for 300 laps. It's now 326. Darrell is in the lead.
Slips a little right there. Sterling Marlin gets on the inside of it.
Not anymore.
And takes the lead. And here comes Harry again.
Ooh, a crash here on the main straightaway. Dick Trickle is in the wall.
And the caution flag waves once again.
So Dale Earnhardt and Ricky Rudd both got one of their 2 laps back.
One of their 3 laps.
3 laps, I beg your pardon.
Yep.
Right. So.
There's Dick Trickle, the Team 3 racing machine that is against the inside wall here on the main straightaway. And once again, our pace is slowed by a crash. The 8th time the caution has waved tonight. This probably is not going to be a lengthy yellow because I don't think there's much to clean up. And Trickle is going to get that car headed in the right direction and will resume. But we will take another break as the caution light winks on and off here at Bristol.
All the deep down quality that makes a Buick so enjoyable on a Saturday afternoon is forged in the heat of weekends we spend throughout the year. So while you're considering the ownership of a bright new Buick, rest assured that Buick engineers are out at the nation's racetracks, racing to make your new Buick even better. Buick, the new symbol for quality in America.
The driver of this car adds something special to his motor oil. So does the driver of this car. They both use STP oil treatment for drivers on a racetrack or drivers on a fast track. STP.
Top-of-the-line parts, expert advice. That's your Big A Auto Parts store.
Big A, the sign that keeps your car running right.
It's tough enough to take you 250,000 miles. Tough enough to take you from Akron to Atlanta, on to Fort Worth and Fargo.
It's the Quaker State Guarantee. A guarantee so tough, your new car's engine is protected against oil-related breakdowns for 250,000 miles or 10 years.
Hartford to Hollywood.
Enroll free at your Quaker State Service Center. You could run out of roads before you run out of Quaker State protection, because Quaker State is one tough motor oil.
ESPN Speed World tonight at Bristol International Raceway in Northeast Tennessee for the Bud 500. And the field is behind the pace car once again as Dick Trickle spun and tapped the wall down here on the main straightaway. And we take a look at it from Ernie Irvin's in-car camera.
Comes off turn 4, and it looks like maybe he and Michael Waltrip made contact, Ned.
Yeah, I believe they did, and just sent him around. And now the wrecker pushing the Team 3 Pontiac back into the pits on the backstretch.
The car just won't run.
I'm sure Ernie was saying, oh, no, not again, because he, of course, was involved in a crash earlier tonight that knocked the front end off the car, but he's still out there. Still under caution, so we will get our commercial breaks in here and bring you live green flag action when we come back.
It's one of the most technologically advanced, most rigorously tested fluids on Earth, relentlessly measured for maximum protection against the friction, the wear and tear, the heat and stress of today's engines. It is today's Quaker State. In Europe, in Japan, in America, Quaker State quality has passed the most demanding tests automakers can throw at it. At Quaker State, we don't just say we're tough, we're tested tough. The big Q is one tough motor oil.
Shine a light on you, shine a light on me. Keep your Bud Light shining for everyone to see.
When you're looking good, you want Bud Light. The clean, fresh taste won't fill you up and never let you down.
You can taste it, you can feel it. You know you got it right. Everything else is just right. Just keep your Bud Light shining. Everything else is just right. You got to shine on. Everything else is just right.
Here they come for the green flag. Perfect timing. Sterling Marlin leads the race.
Darrell Walter going awfully high there, losing a couple of spots on the racetrack.
He's second.
Darrell really going high again.
Darrell has a flat tire, it looks like. He's off the pace. Well, his plan was good, Ned.
Yep.
He figured he figures, but he didn't figure on a flat tire.
Like the left front may be down. Now Marlin now leads. Second place is Alan Kulwicki. Third is Jimmy Spencer. Fourth, Ken Schrader. And then Walter. Those cars on the lead lap. Let's go down to Jerry Punch, who's in Darrell's pit.
Well, the man who won 7 in a row here back in the early 80s having a tough night here at Bristol, Tennessee. A right side tire going down, and they are going to hold him also 15 seconds in the pits for too fast on pit road. And now he is able to go, but the leader is now coming off turn 4, and he will lose another lap here on pit road, gentlemen.
I should put him 2 laps down, Jerry.
Tough break for Darrell Waltrip. Sterling Marlin had that fiery crash here at Bristol in April, but now is in the lead and could pull off his first Winston Cup victory here tonight. Jimmy Spencer has led most of this race, looking for his first Winston Cup win, and now Sterling Marlin is in the top spot looking for win number 1. Jeff Plyler of Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina, is probably a little bit happy right now.
Why is that?
Well, he was watching ESPN and knew that Jimmy Spencer was leading at the halfway point, and they called him, and he won a Pontiac Grand Prix SE.
I bet he's happy as well. Congratulations. Roanoke Rapids over on I-95 in North Carolina.
34-year-old Jeff Plyler, congratulations in the right guard halfway challenge, and all of us here at ESPN are watching. Bobby Hamilton got a little squirrely coming off the second corner.
Hey, the car on the move is Mark Martin moving around Harry Gant there. Mark made up one of his laps on that last caution. Would like to move up and what's he, 4 laps down now? Or 2 laps down.
He's in 5th position. 2 laps down.
Okay. So he'd like to move around Sterling Marlin and make up that 1 more lap that he's down. He's 2 laps behind right now.
Got a good race car, did we? Noticed about 100 laps ago that he was in front of Jimmy Spencer and was actually not losing any ground to him. He's about the only car all night that really and truly has been running the same speed. Ooh, he almost loses control. He consistently has been running as fast as Jimmy Spencer. That's Spencer, where is Spencer?
He's behind us. He's in 3rd place. See back there, there's Alan Kulwicki, who's running 2nd, and that's Spencer in 3rd position.
Spencer's got to have a problem. I mean, all of a sudden, he was on Kulwicki's back bumper just a few laps ago, and he's falling back, so evidently Spencer is looking some trouble.
He isn't running as fast as he was, no doubt about that.
Well, that miscommunication that cost him when he didn't come in the pits on the first time the pits were open on the last caution, and he lost 4 positions. He might have a tire going down. We understand that he is reporting that the car is sliding a little more than usual, and he might have a tire going down. And we also understand that Davey Allison thinks he might have a tire going down. We had a report a little bit ago that he might be leaking some fluid, but seems Davey Allison I'm talking about, he's running okay out there, even though he's several laps down. He's showing 8th place.
There's some smoke out of Spencer's car that time.
Yeah, I noticed it last lap.
Didn't see any smoke this time, but let's watch him as we go in turn 1. Looks like it's coming out of the left rear. I don't know if it's tires rubbing the quarter final, exactly what it is.
Benny, we have, you know, when he and Mark Martin got into it, it's been a while now. Spencer led the race quite a bit after that, but it did hit the wall, and he thinks that his rear end might have been bent on the car, and it might be bent enough to be getting a little rubbing there.
Yeah, he might have pushed the rear end housing over against that left rear quarter panel, and that's what the smoke we see is. Here comes Darrell Waltrip.
Since going in for a tire change, Waltrip has been very quick, but he is 2 laps down.
Still got those yellow wheels on.
Yep.
His brother Michael don't need any tires. He's not running very fast out there, so he's trying to make up laps. He wrecked early in the race.
Michael is 29th, about 148 laps behind.
So he won't win tonight. Is that what you're saying?
Chances are he will not. That's correct.
No, if everybody else will quit now, he could. Just not enough laps.
Jimmy Spencer's best career finish was third. That came earlier this year at North Wilkesboro. They're the cars that are out of the race. Most of them because of crashes or as the result of crashes. Nobody has been injured here tonight. Despite the fact that we've had 8 caution periods.
And here the 6-car Mark Martin is still trying to get that lap back. He was on the back bumper of Sterling Marlin just a couple of laps ago. Now Marlin has a big advantage, 1 car length.
Big advantage, though. They don't look so big to Sterling when he looks in the rearview mirror.
Second place car, Alan Kowicki, has caught this group. This group of 6 were running by themselves, and now Kowicki has caught them.
He's running pretty good. You see some damage on the Hooters Ford. As I say, damage on just about every car out there.
As a matter of fact, when Sterling Marlin was leading the race, and I said that a moment ago, I didn't notice, but the grill's been knocked out of the leader's car, 22.
Caution, Rick Mast into the wall.
Slowly down the back.
And Martin trying to get his lap back. Here's Mark Martin. He slides up around Sterling Marlin.
He does. That's only one, though, of the 2 that he needs to get back on the lead lap. So
and Jimmy Spencer is slow. Jimmy Spencer is slow coming off turn 4.
And the pits are closed.
He can't come in. The pits are closed.
Well, he's coming in anyway.
Yep, he drives right under the flag that is being displayed by the crewman down there. The NASCAR
official had no choice.
Well, the car is shut off, and he just radios that the throttle linkage broke. And there's smoke pouring from it inside the car. He said he had no accelerator pedal at all, and apparently he shut it off to make sure that he wouldn't over-rev it. And apparently they are going to bring the car back around behind pit wall. The leaders make their way on the pit road. The 7 and 22 here pitting in front of Jimmy Spencer. They were getting right-side tires and now left-side tires from the Maxwell House Ford of Sterling Marlin. The same likewise being done to Alan Kowicki's Hooters Ford. So most of the Ford cars getting 4 tires. Meanwhile, Jimmy Spencer's Food City Chevrolet has the hood up. He sits in the car, and it has been a good afternoon, a good evening for Spencer, but apparently they're having difficulties now. They're working in the area of the throttle linkage where it hooks the left side of the carburetor. Now, listen to what they're doing.
They were saying, and I think we're probably just as well off as we did hear what they were saying.
Because there's nothing cool under that. Everyone's burning their fingers trying to work on that car.
Kenny Schrader comes in. Now he goes out. And here is Rick Mast's crash, the reason that we are under caution.
This is for a camera in turn 2. Once again, it looks like that the right front tire lost air, and Richard Petty makes contact as Mast comes off the wall.
Tagged him just a tad.
Well, that thing headed right for the wall again, as probably a tire went down on the Rick Mast car. There he is, though. He's out of the car, and Rick is okay. Back in a moment.
Limited edition GMC Cyclone. Technology that speaks for itself. In fact, your GMC truck dealer would like to show you only one more Cyclone feature.
Pronto Auto Parts. From coast to coast, your local Pronto Auto Parts store features friendly service and quality auto parts at lower prices. For nationwide auto parts protection, ask the pro at Pronto. Your Pronto Parts professional offers nationwide warranty coverage on thousands of parts for your car or truck. Pronto stores have the parts, the knowledgeable people, and the prices you will like. Take advantage of the Pronto Protection Plus nationwide warranty.
When you need to know about auto parts, ask the pro at Pronto.
Around the world, around the year, with over 1 million miles of award-winning auto racing coverage. ESPN Speed World at Bristol, Tennessee tonight on a beautiful Saturday night with nearly a full moon showing over Bristol International Raceway. Now, Jimmy Spencer came in, is still in the pits. Jerry, what is the problem?
Well, you talk about keeping the pedal to the metal, that sort of lingo they use in racing. Let me show you what happened. Jimmy Spencer broke the linkage, the Heim joint. This is part of the linkage that goes from the carburetor to the accelerator pedal. This screws into the side of the carburetor linkage. This is the Heim joint attachment. It goes toward the firewall. He had his foot so hard on it, apparently the vibration and force here at Bristol just sheared it off. They are in the car now. Charlie McKay and the crew trying to repair it, but he has lost a lot of laps here in the pits, and Jimmy Spencer will not win his first one tonight at Bristol.
He can carry his head high, however, after this race, because as you can see, he led 204 of the 358 laps here tonight. A lot of spectators now waving to the cameras. Hey, the empty plate means only that Benny Parsons was somewhere in the area. Ladies and gentlemen, you have seen many buffet bennies before this year, but you have never seen one like this one. Watch this.
I'm ready. Mate. What?
Looks like my kind of place. Hi.
You made it, huh?
Yes. Wow. Southern hospitality. News
Always
travels fast on the river, doesn't it?
Well, it certainly does.
What we eating here?
Well, we've got all kinds of stuff for you here. We've got, what you're eating here is beef enchiladas with refried beans and rice. We've got nachos here, beef nachos.
I've heard of those.
Yeah, those little green things are fun. We've got chili con queso here at the cheese dip. You dip your chips in. This is a beef chimichanga. And then over here...
Never mind. Dennis won't eat?
Hey,
it's been a long paddle, you know.
Enjoy.
Well, maybe this is going to give us enough energy to get down the river. And thank you, Chucky Trading Company, for a wonderful lunch. It was delicious. One last bite. Shall we go, Dennis? I think it's about that time. Boy, was that good. I'm ready to go again now. Oh, wait. Yes, sir. Ready, buddy. I'm ready now. Oh.
That thing would not float an inch with Benny in it. We just went green. It's lap 364, and Alan Kowicki is out front in the Bud 500.
Bob, a special thanks to Cherokee Adventures for providing us with the rubber raft to go down the river, and it was a lot of fun.
Was that really you coming down those great 5 rapids?
Sure was me. Yes, it was.
Man, oh, man.
That's a lot of fun.
Impressed.
Alan Kowicki, now our leader, passed the 22 car of Sterling Marlin just as they took the green flag, and he's off and running.
Darrell Waltrip 2 laps down, trying to get one of them back here. He's right behind the leader.
And Ricky Rudd is right out in front of the leader. He is back now within 1 lap. He has fallen from 3 laps down to 1.
Sterling Marlin is second. Third is Schrader. Fourth, Mark Martin. And fifth now is Rudd. Look at this. 6 drivers who won in 1990, had at least one win in 1990, have not won in 1991, and the current leader, Alan Kowicki, is among them.
Well, Darrell Waltrip wants to get in front of him and get one of his laps back. That unscheduled pit stop.
Oh, Harry Gant spins coming off turn 2 and goes down and makes some contact with the wall.
And Ricky Rudd will get his lap back. Darrell Waltrip won't. Rudd will get one of his laps back.
Well, this is run 3-4 laps and have another spin or crash.
Harry Gant and Morgan Shepherd make some contact over in turn 2. And Harry went around.
is getting to be a little ridiculous. Here is a replay.
Mark Martin was up on the outside of Dale Earnhardt, but Morgan Shepherd runs in and taps Harry Gandel, the left rear quarter panel, just enough to get him spinning. That was coming off of turn 2 and down to the inside retaining wall.
We also saw the 28 car as Harry Gant trying to get the car going. We saw the 28 car going through turn 1, smoking out the exhaust pipe like he had an engine problem. And we see him with a hood up on the car as we speak.
Yeah, he was in with a lot of smoke during that last caution, Ben. And we reported a while back that he perhaps had some fluid leaking from his Haviland Ford. So Davey Allison does continue to have problems here tonight.
Allison third in Winston Cup points, certainly within striking distance of Dale Earnhardt, 137 points behind.
That green hose we see, that's water hose that they're over trying to spray the radiator, spray the engine down, trying to cool something down so they can work on it.
A hot Haviland Ford under Davey Allison here at Bristol International Raceway. Back with more of the Bud 500 in just a moment.
SummerSlam live Monday night, August 26th on pay-per-view. Witness the Macho Man and the lovely Miss Elizabeth unite as man and wife in what is truly a match made in heaven. And then from there, Sergeant Slaughter, Colonel Mustafa, and General Adnan, the Triangle of Terror, face Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior in what is a match made in hell. It's a match made in heaven and a match made in hell. It's SummerSlam.
I don't know how these young families do it these days. Prices are going up and up. So now at Wendy's, you can put together a whole meal from our 99-cent super value menu. Like a junior bacon cheeseburger with biggie fries, biggie drink, or a baked potato with a fresh salad, and a diet drink or a Frosty, or any other combination of 99-cent super value menu items. So when you walk out, you have change in your pocket.
Hey, Dad!
Coming, Wendy.
Make your own meal from Wendy's 99-cent super value menu.
If it happens in baseball, you'll see it on ESPN.
There he goes. He leaves. He makes the catch.
See Tuesday night doubleheaders, Wednesday night excitement, Friday night twin bills, and exclusive Sunday night action. Time is running out for Barry Larkin and the Reds to make up ground in the NL West. Howard Johnson and the Mets face the same uphill climb in the NL East. It's desperation time, live at 8 Eastern on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball.
Bristol International Raceway is the scene of our ESPN Speed World coverage tonight of the Bud 500. Under caution for the 10th time tonight because of this in turn number 2.
Right in the middle of the screen, the green and white car, the Skull Bandit, and the 15 car, the red car, Morgan Shepherd, makes contact off turn 2. Harry spins, goes down and hits the wall. Now, it doesn't look like it's that hard, but he has taken the Skull Bandit behind the wall, and they're working on the side.
We'll go green in one more lap. We'd like to remind you that at 7:55 tomorrow morning Eastern Time, not too long from now, as a matter of fact, we'll have live coverage of the Belgian Grand Prix from Spa-Francorchamps. Again, Ayrton Senna, McLaren driver, will have the pole position when they get the green flag tomorrow with John Bizignano, Bob Barsha, and David Hobbs. Live at 7:55 tomorrow morning Eastern Time.
I understand that Davey Allison might have a head gasket blown on the Haviland Ford. We saw that smoke coming from it a little bit ago. Hope that race will get over with quick so we can get in our annual ESPN golf tournament tomorrow down at Roan Valley Golf Course at Mountain City, Tennessee.
Unfortunately, I won't be able to join you, but have a good time.
Or fortunately, yes.
Yeah, or
we've seen you play golf before, Bob.
You wouldn't want me there, I'll tell you. Here's the green. We're back to racing. Darrell Waltrip is only one lap down. Now he's back on the lead lap.
That's the leader, Alan Kowicki in the orange and white 7:22. And we saw Jimmy Spencer. If you're familiar with the watching telecast, we saw him go by the speed shop. He's back in the race. They fixed that accelerator.
Well, he's some 6 laps behind, being shown in 14th position.
Sterling Marlin staying within 2-3 car lengths of the leader, Alan Kowicki. Ken Schrader is third, followed by Mark Martin, who's a lap down, and Ricky Rudd is a lap down. Only 3 cars on the lead lap.
Bob, I think Darrell Waltrip is still one more lap down. He was 2 laps down.
Okay.
Has gotten one of those back now, at least as long as he stays out in front of Alan Kowicki.
There is Davey Allison, who has returned to the racetrack. We'll get an update on his situation from Jerry Punch.
Well, Davy's certainly not running up the speed, and they will probably be bringing him back down pit road momentarily. They apparently have either a blown head gasket or a crack in the block. They have gone to get some liquid glass, which they use as a sealer, and they now are black flagging Davy Allison. They have posted his number and will wave the black flag as he goes by to bring him on the pit road, thinking he may be losing some fluid or some water on the track, as Allison does show some smoke going into turn 1. What a break for Davy Allison.
Well, I tell you, that racetrack is slicking up without getting some extra fluid on the track. And look at the smoke now beginning to boil a little bit heavier as he heads into the pits.
Alan Kowicki from Greenfield, Wisconsin is the leader of the race, looking for his first win of 1991. His best finish has been a second at Pocono. There's second place, Sterling Marlin. That's the interval between the two. Alan stretches out the lead a little bit.
Currently, the third place car is Kenny Schrader.
Kenny has not been up there battling for the lead tonight, but he has stayed in the lead lap all night. He's just been out there circling this racetrack, running a good, smart race, and as a result finds himself one of 3 cars in the lead lap.
Here's the 6-car Mark Martin and the 5 of Ricky Rudd. This is for position.
They are both a lap down, but they are battling for the 4th spot.
Dale Earnhardt is back in 8th spot, so they both can pick up a few points on Earnhardt. Though we see Earnhardt behind Rudd, but he is in 8th place, a lap down to Rudd and Martin.
While we watch that, Alan Kowicki moves around Darrell Waltrip and puts Waltrip 2 laps down once again.
There they are, that out of the second turn.
See him on the left of your screen. Kowicki has also run a very smart race here tonight. He got a lap down early in the race when he had a flat tire, an unscheduled stop, but worked hard and got it back.
There we see Mark Martin on the inside of Morgan Shepherd trying to get by. He makes it by. There comes Rudd. Tell you what, the floodgates are open when you get on the outside.
There's Bobby Hillen down on the inside the track. Darrell Waltrip coming back in the pits. Hillen, after crashing earlier, back out on the track. And Darrell Waltrip coming in for an unscheduled pit stop. Maybe another flat tire. We'll see.
Waltrip brings the Western Auto Chevy to a halt. We'll see if they replace those yellow rims with some other ones. Here comes the leader.
Now that's 3 laps he'll be down. He's already down 2.
Waltrip right down on the jacks, and off he goes again. Rims aren't yellow, they're black.
They're still yellow on the left side, so we only changed 2 tires.
Kowicki just went around Bobby Hillen. You talk about being laps down. Hillen is 222 laps behind.
222. But he could probably place in front of the 11 car if he does finish the rest of the race. Because Jeff O'Dine, I don't think they're trying to fix the car to get that car back in the event.
It was a right front that went down on Darrell Waltrip's car. That's the reason he came in for a pit stop and went another lap down. The leader is Alan Kowicki, and we'll be back with more of the Butt 500 after this.
Limited edition GMC Cyclone. Technology that speaks for itself. In fact, your GMC truck dealer would like to show you only one more Cyclone feature.
It's tough enough to take you 250,000 miles. Tough enough to take you from Akron to Atlanta, on to Fort Worth and Fargo.
It's the Quaker State Guarantee. A guarantee so tough, your new car's engine is protected against oil-related breakdowns for 250,000 miles or 10 years.
Hartford to Hollywood.
Enroll free at your Quaker State Service Center. You could run out of roads before you run out of Quaker State protection, because Quaker State is one tough motor oil.
Chad Little, the Bullseye Ford, has brought out our 11th caution of the evening. He spun over in turn 2. The leader, Sterling Marlin, is in for a pit stop.
He was the second place car. Kowicki, the leader, chose not to come in the pits. So, but Sterling Marlin did. He has the Maxwell House Ford. Changes 4 tires.
Probably didn't have the stagger set up on that car that he wanted. He was losing ground to Alan Kowicki.
And here's the Chad Little car. As we say, as we're watching the crash, He goes in the corner, and he doesn't blow a tire.
I think he got blue stuff.
Yep.
Just lost control, could never get it back, and spun her out.
Ken Schrader is in. John Kernan is there.
Schrader and company already in the middle of a 4-tire change. Ken was running third. He's been having some problems on the restart. You may have noticed that he's fallen back. Talked to Richard Grimm, the crew chief. He says there's really no problem. And now he's 4 tires and he stalls the engine. Crew will have to push him to get a refire. They finally get a refire, and Kenny is away.
Schrader has the car going again. Now our Big A Auto Parts on-track mineral. This, of course, was under green before the crash. We timed Kowicki and Schrader on 5 consecutive laps, 377 to 381. You'll notice that Kowicki was 1.9 seconds ahead of Schrader on lap 377, and it went up to 4.2, 16.9 seconds there on lap 378 for Allen.
Yeah, but you can see that 18.3 for Schrader. That means that he ran across some traffic because a race car driver just doesn't slow down 0.8 of a second in 1 lap. So that's why he ran across some traffic. That's why that 18.3 seconds.
Well, we will go green before too much longer. Alan Kowicki will have the top spot when we go back to action here at Bristol.
Top-of-the-line parts, expert advice. That's your Big A Auto Parts store.
Keeps your car running right.
The driver of this car adds something special to his motor oil. So does the driver of this car. They both use STP oil treatment for drivers on a racetrack or drivers on a fast track. STP.
All the deep-down quality that makes a Buick so enjoyable on a Saturday afternoon is forged in the heat of weekends we spend throughout the year. So while you're considering the ownership of a bright new Buick, rest assured that Buick engineers are out at the nation's racetracks, racing to make your new Buick even better. Buick, the new symbol for quality in America.
I'm Jim Bergamo. Coming up on SportsCenter, Bo was ready to come back, but would Mother Nature cooperate? Cecil Fielder and the Tigers were looking for first place. Would the Mariners cooperate? Join Tom Mees and me at 11:30 Eastern.
SportsCenter at 11:30. Baseball tonight at 11 o'clock, right after our Bud 500 Winston Cup race here at Bristol. We have just gone back to green. Alan Kowicki continues to lead. There's the 22 car of Sterling Marlin. That is second position. And running with him, Dale Earnhardt and Jimmy Spencer. Right now up front, ahead of Kowicki is Ricky Rudd, getting a lap back. Now there's the 9 car of Bill Elliott, and he looks like he's ready to go back into action.
He's been behind the wall quite a while, but after hitting the wall, after a right rear tire went flat on him.
I guess they decided to dispense of the hood. Ricky Rudd got the jump on Alan Kowicki on the start a little bit ago. Kowicki looks like he's a little bit faster, but can't get by Rudd.
Rudd is back on the lead lap.
Boy, there's some real hot action right here as Mark Martin right behind the car number 98 and Jimmy Spencer. Now smoke coming from Jimmy Spencer's car quite a bit that time, but he's still running hard.
It looked like engine smoke that time.
It sure did.
I don't know.
Might be tire smoke, blue smoke there.
Spencer is 12th after leading most of the laps here tonight. Broke a throttle linkage. 98 car may be laying down some fluid out there.
He might be. Notice Darrell Walton's going high back there behind him. He's probably trying to avoid. He thinks that he's laying down some oil, trying to go high above it. But Spencer's still running good, though.
Yeah,
of course, speed around the racetrack.
Less than 100 laps to go now. This 500 lapper.
Up front, Alan Kowicki is putting that lap back on Ricky Rudd. Rudd couldn't get the caution he needed. He was back in the lead lap for a moment. Ooh, they're still running close.
And now Spencer gets around Earnhardt. He gave him a little bit of a tap there.
That was the second time they passed and done that in the last 5 laps.
And here comes Mark Martin trying to go by on the outside of Earnhardt. Able to get by. There's Morgan Chipman and Darrell Walton. All these fellas, going by that Goodrich Chevrolet.
Earnhardt is 6th on the field.
Well, we watch
the little love tap that Jimmy gave Dale.
Yeah, it was up on the outside just a little bit.
And now the 5 and the 7 have been exchanging paint.
Ooh, we see Kawicki working on that steering wheel, trying to keep their car going straight for a while.
Now, Sterling Marlin has cost them that set of tires that came in and put on. Now he moves around Ricky Rudd, so he has nothing but a little bit of daylight between he and the car number 7. Car number 8 having a problem.
Bobby Labonte, in relief of Rick Wilson, slow down the backstretch, now into turn 3.
And he heads down pit road, and it does look like the car's under power.
He was in the top 10, as a matter of fact, was 9th, so not a bad run for Bobby Labonte here, but he stops in the Snickers pit now and will get tires on the right side.
Apparently a flat for him.
I guess the car engine was running.
Sterling Marlin beginning to close in on Alan Kowicki, our leader. Jerry Punch has a report on Bobby Labonte's pit stop.
Well, apparently Bobby Labonte just did cut a right side tire down when he brushed the wall just a lap or so ago, so they changed right side tires. And gentlemen, while I have it, we might mention that car number 98 of Jimmy Spencer is having some smoke come out the left side exhaust intermittently. I spoke with Travis Carter, who said, we see the smoke, we don't really know what it is. Spencer has not commented. He said the car is still running awfully well, so we're going to keep our fingers crossed we can make it another 89 laps.
Well, Jerry, as you were saying, that Spencer slowed dramatically, and he's headed for you in pit road.
And Bobby Labonte coming back in the pit, going behind the wall this time.
Meanwhile, Earnhardt and Mark Martin are working together on the racetrack. I'm not so sure that it's a harmonious relationship, but they are running together.
Right on the back of Mark Martin's car.
The two guys who battled for the Winston Cup in 1990 have found each other on the racetrack. Martin, of course, not in the points battle at the moment, although he is only 189 behind Earnhardt in 5th position in the Winston Cup standings. There's a last lap speed, 112.65. Now remember, the pole speed here, turned in by Bill Elliott, was 116.9. So they're about 4 miles an hour slower than the pole speed.
That's still pretty fast as they barrel down these corners at 120 miles per hour. There's Joe Ruttman going in the pits, the Dinner Bell Oldsmobile.
Alan Kowicki now beginning to pull away a little bit from Sterling Marlin. Marlin had closed in, but Alan opening it up a little bit.
I bet Kowicki's sitting there praying, please, with a caution flag. Let's just keep everything going. Let's get this race over with. Go to victory lane. Of course, it's a week too late for Alan Kowicki. He was on the pole last week at Michigan. Could have picked up the win with probably $150,000. It would have been worth the wrong week.
Dale Earnhardt slowed again going into turn 1. Don't know if he just moved down and let Morgan Shepherd and Darrell Waltrip go by. I think that's what happened.
There's Waltrip and Morgan Shepherd. Shepherd is 7th, and Waltrip is 8th, but they're not on the same lap.
Right, that separates them.
Jerry Punch has a report on a never-say-die attitude being shown here tonight.
Guys, you got to give a call to the Snickers crew behind me. Pete Wright, the crew chief, Kenny Wilson. Now, Bobby Labonte is in the car, and they cut a right front tire and tacked the wall. You see, the tire is actually towed out. It should be pointing straight ahead. Instead, it's turned out, and they have brought the car behind the wall. They will make an adjustment and try to get young Bobby Labonte back out. We're not going to say die, guys. These guys are going to race before the night's over.
Well, we've seen that many, many times tonight. We saw it from the Kodak crew as Ernie Irvin was involved in a crash, but they did a lot of cutting and sawing and getting repairs made, and Ernie is back out there on the track, and he is in 20th position. And there's the 30 car of Michael Waltrip, also in that same situation. Many, many laps down, but still out there trying to move up as many positions as possible, allowing them to gain the Winston Cup points. And there's Hut Strickland.
You see the nose has gone off the 12 car. Well, he and the 4 met head on, and both they're riding around with no front ends on either of the cars.
And another one in that category. Hey, Bill Elliott's got those yellow rims on. He's borrowing from maybe Michael too, huh?
He probably borrowed some from Darrell, some used tires.
And the 42 car, we told you, 222 laps behind is Bobby Hillin.
That car hit hard enough to be destroyed.
Yeah, I was concerned about Bobby's health, but sure as in the world, he's back on the racetrack. 31st.
Not only interested in driver points, but car owner points as well.
Alan Kulwicki continues to lead the race in the Hooters Ford. A win would help him perhaps secure other major sponsorship for 1992.
And he is pulling away from Sterling Marlin every lap.
And there are 75 laps to go. We have reached 425.
Ted, I hear that, I mean, I realize this is off the subject. We're not seeing it on the screens. I hear that Jeff 09 may drive for Bud Moore in the 15 car next year.
That rumor was pretty heavy in the pits today, and that Morgan Shepherd might go to the 21 car of the Wood brothers.
There's Darrell Waltrip still working hard, still trying to move toward the front, still trying to get back on the lead lap that would get him back in contention. And there is the interval between Darrell and the leader. Darrell is 3 laps down. Back in a moment.
Top-of-the-line parts.
Red, blue, and white.
Expert advice.
It's a good sign.
Your Big A Auto Parts store.
Keeps your car running right.
Where the pros go for auto parts.
Big A, the sign that keeps your car running right.
Someone to depend on when you need to depend on your car.
It's one of the most technologically advanced, most rigorously tested fluids on Earth, relentlessly measured for maximum protection against the friction, the wear and tear, the heat and stress of today's engines. It is today's Quaker State. In Europe, in Japan, in America, Quaker State quality has passed the most demanding tests automakers can throw at it. At Quaker State, we don't just say we're tough, we're tested tough. The big Q is one tough motor oil.
Limited edition GMC Cyclone. Technology that speaks for itself. In fact, your GMC truck dealer would like to show you only one more Cyclone feature.
Alan Kulwicki leads the Bud 500 from Bristol International Raceway in Northeast Tennessee with less than 70 laps to go. Reached lap number 434.
Ted looks like he put on cruise control.
Yeah, he's,
I mean, he got him about a 4 or 5 second lead, and that's good.
Well, actually, it's just about 2.5 seconds, Benny. You know, we look down on the racetrack, and it's a pretty good distance, but as fast as they go around this racetrack, it's not all that much in seconds.
And if history repeats itself, as it has here earlier tonight, we're going to see probably more cautions before this race is over, and anything can happen. Davey Allison is out of the race. He's with Jerry Punch.
Bobby's out momentarily, but they're trying to get the car fixed behind us. Davey, what's the problem?
Well, all of a sudden the car started overheating. It's a shame. Our Texaco Howland Krispy Thunderbolt was really running good tonight, but you know, we had gotten several laps down. We'd made up all but one of them. Thought we were going to get it back, and all of a sudden the water temperature gave tugged down. Evidently the racetrack where it's coming up has got the radiator plugged up. I guess it's either cracked the head or blown the head down.
Well, Davey will be able to get back in. That's why he's keeping the helmet on, folks. He's trying to get back in. Remember, he is only 68 points out of second place behind Ricky Rudd and Dale Earnhardt. So he will try to get the Howland Ford back on the track.
That's right. There are the point standings in the quest for the Cup, and Allison is only 137 behind the leader. Did I subtract that right, Benny?
Well, you had the thing right there written in front of your face. I could probably read it.
Kulwicki leads.
There's Bobby Labonte is back out. We saw Kulwicki just go by him.
Ted Musgrave in the number 55 car is still out there. Let's see, where is his 16th? About 11 laps behind, but Ted Musgrave is still out there battling for the Rookie of the Year honors. And you can see that he only has a 3-point advantage on Bobby Hamilton in the rookie points. Wally Dallenbach is third in the standings. Stanley Smith and Rich Bickle are fourth and fifth. So that rookie battle is really tight. Not so tight as far as the manufacturer's points are concerned, as Chevrolet with 10 wins has a rather commanding lead on the Ford products, who have won 5 times this year than Pontiac Oldsmobile. But Alan Kulwicki in a Ford is the leader of this race. Now, right at the beginning of the program, remember we showed you how this is a Chevrolet racetrack. You guys talked about how Chevy has dominated this racetrack in the past few years, but a Ford is leading tonight.
Ford's running 1-2, as a matter of fact. And here is Bobby Hamilton. We saw a graphic just a moment ago. He's second in the rookie point standings behind Ted Musgrave. And right now, he is one position ahead of Musgrave on the racetrack, so he could gain on Musgrave's lead.
Now, rookie points are accumulated only as a guide to the final vote that is taken by a panel. So just because you win the Rookie of the Year point standings doesn't automatically give you the Rookie of the Year title, but that's the way it's worked out for most of the years. Bobby Hamilton, car number 68, 15th position.
Country Time Oldsmobile.
9 laps down. There's the Phillips 66 in-car camera riding alongside Lake Speed, who is 12th in the serial scoring tonight.
It's Ernie Irvin in the Kodak film, the Chevrolet directly in front of Lake as he comes off the corner and goes into the light.
Jimmy Spencer is all over Alan Kulwicki as Jimmy tries to get a lap back.
Well, and Alan's going to do it. I started to say his spotters should tell him, let him go, because he's 6 laps down. Don't fool with him.
And Alan has a rather comfortable advantage on Sterling Marlin. The length of the straightaway separates the two, so that was a good move by Alan Kulwicki just to let him go. Boy, we are set up here for an exciting finish as Marlin may be closing in now on Alan Kulwicki with less than 60 laps to go.
Now, he let the 98 car go by. The 6 car, Mark Martin, is closing in, and Ned, I tell you what, he don't want that car to go by, because if he lets him go by, he's going to be back in the lead lap.
Yep, and that's the car that he'll definitely have to contend with if another caution should come out.
Mark Martin is 4th, and he is a lap down, trying to get it back here in the late going at the Budweiser 500. 50 laps to go. Back in a moment. Welcome back to Bristol International Raceway in Northeast Tennessee. Live coverage tonight of the NASCAR Bud 500 Winston Cup race in its closing stages right now. Our Speed World coverage is being brought to you by Quaker State. The Big Q is one tough motor oil. And by GMC Trucks. It's not just a truck anymore, it's quality on the road.
I tell you what, Kulwicki a moment ago made a mistake when he let Spencer go by, because he's holding him up now, Ned.
Yes, he is, and Mark Martin is there just knocking on the door, wanting to get back in the lead lap. And Kulwicki has really stepped up his pace a little bit now, trying to get back around. More than get around Spencer, just trying to hold Mark Martin off, but he needs to get around Spencer to do that.
Still smoke coming from the left side of that Food City car. Now Kulwicki does go by him, but Mark Martin is threatening to also.
Yep, and they get together.
Touch.
Yes, they do. And boy, I'll tell you, that could be dangerous.
Uh-oh.
And they touched some more. They had touched earlier in the race, and this might not be over yet. Well, maybe it is.
Darrell Waltrip, the third car there, as he also tries to go to the inside of Jimmy Spencer, and Spencer is going to get the black flag.
He is.
Spencer's been black flagged because of his actions on the racetrack in that little skirmish with Mark Martin.
Maybe it's for that smoke.
Maybe it is, but I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
That thing's been smoking a lot longer than he was pounded on Mark Martin.
And that time Doyle Floyd pointed the finger at him and said, "You, that's the one that we're talking about."
Yeah, they'll stop scoring him if they give him the black flag consistently, and he doesn't heed it, but he's going to. Spencer drops down to the apron of the racetrack and comes in. Little penalty box action here.
Yep, that's for sure.
His is the first pit up toward turn number 4. Just a stop and go. But boy, a stop and go means a lot of track position.
Well, he was already 8 laps down, but he still was being shown in 13th position.
There's Kulwicki. Cruising to victory here tonight.
I started to say Spencer was going to come out right where he was, but he came out a little bit behind Mark Martin.
Now here is the little meeting that Jimmy and Mark had on the track.
They go up. Mark comes off the corner, goes up the racetrack, and they touch. Right. And then Spencer goes in and says, "Hey, I didn't appreciate you hitting me like that." And NASCAR, unfortunately for Jimmy Spencer, are seeing the same pictures we're seeing.
I think it was that second little one that got him.
Yeah, Spencer didn't do anything wrong coming off the second turn over there when they were going down the backstretch.
More on this from Jerry Punch.
Guys, in football, that would be 15 yards. Unnecessary roughness, but that's what they call it here in racing. They brought him in for a stop-and-go penalty, and really, it didn't make him a happy camper at all. You saw him leave the pit.
Now Mark Martin moves over and lets Darrell Waltrip go by on the outside.
Let's see, Waltrip is 3 laps down.
Yep, in 8th position.
Ned, we talked about Darrell Waltrip earlier. Right now, he has a car capable of winning the race. But he didn't figure on the flat tires, and he's 3 laps down.
There are only 3 cars on the lead lap. The leader, Alan Kulwicki, second place, Sterling Marlin, and third place, Ken Schrader.
And right behind the 6th car that just went out of your picture is the 98 car, Jimmy Spencer. There he is.
Right back on the racetrack where he was before he was pulled into the pit. He won't do anything. He won't mess with you now. Alan Kulwicki has a 7-second lead right now over Sterling Marlin, who is in 2nd place.
31 laps to go. And we see Kulwicki just move over and tell Darrell Waltrip to go by. Now, does he want Martin to go by?
I don't think he does, but maybe he moved down too much. No.
Yeah, he's trying to race with Martin.
Because Martin, if he gets back up there, as we've said before, he would be back in the lead lap, and if a caution should come out, that's another car that he'd have to race, and it'd be another fast car, too, because Martin has already made up at least 2 laps tonight.
I'm impressed with Kulwicki's spotter. He's keeping him abreast of exactly what's going on with those cars around him.
Checking the interval between 1st and 2nd. Here comes Sterling. Boom, 6.3.
Yeah, it was 7. My stop was a few laps ago, but that traffic or the move over that Allen did, let Darrell Waltrip go by, let Sterling pick up about 3/4 of a second. We'll try it again.
Yeah, about the same. Maybe a tick of a watch for separation. This is Alan Kulwicki's 12th start here at Bristol. His best finish was back in 1989. At this race, he finished 2nd. His best finish this year was at Richmond on the short track, where he finished 5th in only the 2nd race of the year. He didn't have much luck here in the spring at Bristol. He finished 26th. Right now, Kulwicki is 16 point standings. 46 behind Morgan Shepherd, who is in 15th. Laps are winding down. Now 25 laps to go. 475 are completed. Will Alan Kulwicki win his first Winston Cup race of 1991? Come back and we'll find out.
What you're about to see is a sim. Brushstrokes, runs, streaks. Now consider the new Wagner Power Painter. It has patented controls for precision, a convenient backpack for big jobs. It paints smoothly and evenly over cracks and tough surfaces. Why did we ruin this beauty? So you wouldn't ruin this one. Wagner, not just a whole lot faster, a whole lot better.
You, yes, you might win a new Pontiac Grand Prix in the special days of summer sweepstakes. Plus, 4 special days in sweet tickets for the Winston Cup race in Charlotte, October 6th. Plus, airfare and special days in will throw in accommodations. How about 10 cruises for 2? Want to know how to win one? Register where you see this sign. Want to enter your name in the special days of summer sweepstakes? Call 1-800-CMC-DAYS. By the way, what is your name? Don't just sit there. Enter now.
Live, top-ranked boxing on ESPN. The place where fighters have stepped into the ring as unknowns, made the right connection, and emerged as champions.
You gotta knock him off to win this, all right?
Mike McCallum, the WBA middleweight champion, battles Carlos Cruz. And flyweight Scotty the Bulldog Olsen puts his undefeated record on the line. Thursday night on Top Rank Boxing, live on ESPN.
Alan Kulwicki, car number 7, the Hooters Ford, is leading the Bud 500 with 19 laps to go. And the rookies have found each other on the racetrack, Bobby Hamilton and Ted Musgrave. Only 3 points separate them in the Rookie of the Year point standings. They are right together on the racetrack.
But they're 2 laps apart as far as scoring is concerned. As Kulwicki goes by the Michael Waltrip car.
Here's a field summary. Watch for your favorite driver to see where he is in the serial scoring. Again, there are only 3 cars that are on the lead lap, and we are only 17 laps away from the checkered flag.
Richard Petty in 12th spot.
He was in the top 10 a few minutes ago, but has dropped back to 12th. Bobby Labonte is substituting for Rick Wilson, who is suffering from some stomach flu. Bill Elliott was the pole sitter tonight, running 22nd. Several of these cars were involved in crashes earlier in the evening, but several have rejoined the race. Rusty Wallace finishes last in this event. Now the Western Auto Mechanic of the race is Danny Glad. Here's Jerry Punch.
And they're all smiles down here. Danny, congratulations on being named Western Auto Mechanic of the race.
Well, thank you. I'd like to thank the people from Western Auto for their involvement in NASCAR. And Jerry, this award goes to all the crew, all the part-timers, all the people in the engine room, the chassis shop, everybody who makes this happen. And, you know, Alan's really doing a good job out there, and he's getting the job done for us today. Thank you.
Danny Glad, a very unselfish young man who is one of the leaders in this Hooters team, and rightfully so. He has been named Western Auto Mechanic of the race here in Bristol. Bob?
All right, congratulations to Danny and all the crew members on the Hooters Ford. And this is really going to be another good victory here. Last week we had such a great win when Dale Jarrett won his first Winston Cup race. But it's going to mean a lot to Alan Kulwicki if he can hold off for the next, 12 laps?
Yeah, it certainly will. He has struggled somewhat this year. He has run good. Of course, he's won some poles, but just hasn't been able to get in victory lane. But run an awfully smart race here tonight. And he continues to pull away from Sterling Marlin. He's almost 9 seconds ahead of him now. And Jimmy Spencer almost got into the wall over in turn 2. He kept it off the wall, but he was very close to getting. Looks like he's headed to the 5th again.
Here's Darrell Waltrip and Ken Schrader, who are running together, and Schrader is on the lead lap, but we understand he may have a tire going down.
Yeah, he's not far from going a lap down, Bob. Alan Kulwicki is less than a second behind him.
Schrader running 3rd.
You're looking for some drivers that's anxious to see this race over because it's a very tiring, very hard physical race. And with just 10 laps to go, they're saying, thank goodness, get to be 5 to go.
Now, Mark Martin is coming up on Ken Schrader. That would be for position. He's not far. Martin is still behind Alan Kowicki, but not too far in front of him is Ken Schrader. Don't know if he has enough time in these 10 laps to catch him and pass him or not. That would be a position if he does. There you can see, yeah, down on the front part of the screen, and there's Mark Martin.
7 laps to go in the Bud 500 with Alan Kowicki leading. It's also a very hot and humid night here in Bristol, which adds to the fatigue that these drivers are experiencing right now.
Yes, as the fellows have talked to the drivers in the pits, when they've fallen out of the race tonight, we can see just how much water is on the drivers as they're perspiring in this race car.
We saw Alan Kowicki pass out of frame. Now here comes second place Sterling Marlin. That's a nice, comfortable lead with less than 6 laps to go for Alan Kowicki. Here he comes to complete lap 495. 5 to go.
Yeah, he's well over a half a lap ahead now.
Bobby Hamilton.
Be interesting to see if he lets Mark Martin go here in a little bit. He's coming up on some heavy traffic. He don't need to be running too hard there. He might just move over and let Mark Martin go now. This late in the race, it wouldn't hurt him too bad, probably. Ooh, and Martin gives him a bump as he ran up, had to back off on the outside of the 94 car of Terry Labonte there.
3 to go.
Everything was okay.
3 to go, and now Alan gets separated from the traffic a little bit.
And Martin will probably just stay back there now and follow him. Although he can still see Kenny Schrader up there. They're gaining on him quite a bit. And that would be a position if Mark Martin can get up there and pass him.
I think Wiggy will move over if he can ever get clear of the traffic.
Next time, the white flag will come out. This race is about over. Doyle Ford has the white flag in hand. Here it is for Alan Kowicki. Only one more time around this .533 mile oval, and Alan Kowicki will have his first victory of 1991. Here he is in the third and fourth turns now. He has survived the Bristol High Banks, and Alan Kowicki wins the Bud 500. And the Hooters crew goes crazy out on pit road. A great win for this team and a great win for Alan. Here's John Kernan.
Well, we're trying to catch up with a very happy Paul Andrews. He's congratulating a lot of people. A lot of people coming up. It's been a long time coming for these guys.
Boy, it's a great day. I tell you, we come from 2 laps down. The guys done a great job. Alan done a great job driving the car. We're so happy to be in victory lane. We can't wait to get there. The Hooters down at Ford ran all day long. Like I said, the guys done a great job. We needed this win. We needed it real bad. We're just happy to be here.
All right, congratulations, Paul. Head on over to victory lane.
Alan Kowicki wins the Bud 500 here at Bristol. We'll be back to talk with him after this.
When we set out to engineer the ultimate spark plug, we put in a lot of long hours. We utilized a lot of revolutionary thinking. And all the while, our competition thought we were just shooting for the moon. Unfortunately for them, we shot a bit higher than that. Bosch Platinum, the ultimate spark plug.
To locate a Bosch retailer or service outlet, call 1-800-882-8101.
When doctors were asked which of these 2 pain relief formulas they preferred, number 1, they chose the Goodies formula by more than 3 to 1 over BC's. And when people in the South
Goodies
choose their number 1 headache powder,
Why, Goodies, of course.
Goodies wins again because Goodies has the formula most doctors preferred, and BC doesn't. Goodies. No wonder it's the South's number 1 headache powder.
I've got the car. I've got the team. And I've got the drive. I'm off to a great start.
McDonald's has everything under the sun to get your day off to a great start. Hot, fluffy biscuits, scrumptious Egg McMuffin sandwiches, and griddle fresh hotcakes.
You know, when you get off to a great start, there's just no telling how far you can go.
Coming up in just a moment, baseball tonight, Sports Center at 11:30, and Speed Week at midnight. Let's go down to a very happy Victory Lane and Dr. Jerry Punch.
And Alan Kowicki still sitting in the car and trying to get his breath and getting his hair combed, getting his face.
It feels so good in here, I don't want to come out.
He said it feels so good he doesn't want to come out with a big smile. Yes, he comes out, and his fans, some 60,000 strong, are waiting to see the man who won the 31st annual Budweiser 500. And yes, the celebration will begin here for the driver of the Hooters Ford. Alan, congratulations on a tremendous effort.
Oh, it feels great. You know, the day started off on a wrong note for us. We got a flat tire, got 2 laps down, and you know, we just kept our cool and made the laps up, and the Hooters Ford Thunderbird ran great. I got to thank Hooters Restaurants, Dynalube, Ford Motor Company, Naturally Fresh, all my sponsors. My pit crew did a great job. You know, we've been down and out and run good and just keep having problems, but we bounce back, and you know, the guys never quit. And Paul Andrews and Danny Glad, Ron Vaccaro, just all the guys on the crew. I mean, I can't name them all without forgetting some, but it was a team effort. We had good pit stops, good tires, and everything went great. You know, we didn't back into this one. This is, I think, 3 of the last 4 years we won a race, so I think I passed the fluke stage, and it just feels great.
Alan Kowicki in Victory Lane here in Bristol, Tennessee. He will make his way to Victory Lane. In fact, he's here at the gas pump. The 36-year-old driver becomes the first Ford winner on the short tracks in 1991. Bob?
Top 20 finishers in tonight's race. Marlin was second, Ken Schrader third, the only other car on the lead lap, and then Mark Martin and Ricky Rudd finish in 4th and 5th position. Show you 6 through 10 here, and guys, it was a typical Bristol race. Had a lot of crashing and banging, but fortunately no drivers injured, and just pure excitement from start to finish.
And of course, Ricky Rudd to pick up a few more points on Dale Earnhardt here tonight.
The Winston Cup points battle continues to tighten up as Earnhardt had some misfortune again tonight. Earnhardt ending